What is up, everybody? We are here live on site, on location at Hooters of iDrive at 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. Live from iDrive is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. All week long, we've been here with you celebrating the ushering in of the college football and the NFL season as Florida in focus for Wake Up Call. This is your kickoff week, and we are so happy to be here. I've had guests all week long. Jason Lucas, you know, is no stranger to the broadcast. Normally it's Zoom, and we are picture-in-picture, but now, look, it's real. So we are here right now. Jason Lucas here with me, and part of the public relations of a team as well as the media side. You've seen a bunch of different angles of the sports world, so you always bring a great conversation to the fray, and we have a lot of stuff to get into today, so good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dan. Man, I guess there's a first time for everything. We finally get to do a show together after 11 years of friendship, finally in the same room, same restaurant.
Yeah. Same
Pretty
room,
awesome.
Same room, same place at the same time, which is awesome. So very happy to be here with you. You know that Hooters of iDrive opens at 11 a.m. and Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora typically 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. But we have shifted from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. this week as the doors open, so we open the show. YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and Facebook.com/LiveNowDT is where you're watching. You are listening on MixLR.com/WakeUpCallDT and on WakeUpCallDT.com. And once the shows go live, you can catch them in the archive on Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, as well as Podbean by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or simply searching one word, Wake Up Call DT. So, and we have all week long been joined by the Hooters girls, getting to know their stories, which I think is one of the coolest parts of what I've been able to do here, is to really get to know everybody. So I got to give a shout out. There's a long list of people to give a shout out to. So I got to shout out Portia, Holly, Alex, Kalaya, as well as Ashlyn, Savannah, Macy, Jordan, Josephina, Rosita, Bethany, and Crystal, who have all joined Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora to show us Marvel, to a lot of UCF love here in the building, so Jason, appreciate that.
Yeah.
Florida, Florida State, South Florida, East Carolina. We've had people that have been in the Hooters calendar. We have had fantastic conversations about Disney, about music, about Justin Bieber, and Taylor Swift. So definitely, I think the coolest thing about it, you can check it out at youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT, as we have your Meet Your Hooters of iDrive, and each of them have their own special clip segment, so you can get to know the girls here. So when you're walking in, you can know so much more than a face when you come in here to see Josephina, Rosita, or Portia, or Macy, or anybody that's coming in here.
Awesome.
Getting to meet them. So I think it's been really, really cool to have that as in kind of a bonus, and for Hooters Corporate as well as Hooters iDrive to really get to know the personalities that make up this awesome organization. So I think it's cool.
Absolutely.
We have a lot to get into. We're going to start with UCF because that is something that you and I defend.
Yeah.
You and I have supported. I've become a UCF fan outside of covering teams and whatnot because I defended them for so long. I kind of just became a fan of it because I got to know them so well.
Yeah.
So what can you say about UCF this year? I just interviewed one of the O-linemen. That's going to be coming up on this coming week's broadcast where the American Athletic takes over the show. And you're going to see my one-on-one with Dylan Gabriel. So, and Gus Malzahn. First time I got to interview Gus, you'll get to see that one-on-one. So, thoughts on the quarterback situation with Dylan Gabriel coming back this year?
I mean, if you're a UCF fan, there's not any more comfortable you could feel than having a guy that's going into his third year as the starter.
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel's been the starter since the second game he was at UCF. He took over immediately. And in his first start, lights it up immediately and really got UCF off to a good start that season. Last year, unfortunately, some drop balls, some untimely interceptions, things that he doesn't normally do.
Yeah.
I feel like some injuries at receiver hurt the team last season, off and on. But I mean, you can't ask to be any more comfortable. He threw over 30 touchdowns last season. and was really an integral part of how they even won 6 games.
Yeah.
A game that's up here right now. He just threw a touchdown to Ryan O'Keefe in the Memphis game.
Yeah.
And made all the plays to win a game like that, and you came back on because we didn't have any defense.
Yeah.
Randy Shannon's out the door now, so you don't have that anymore as far as defense. I think we all were pretty uncomfortable with him calling the defense as the season went on. It got worse and worse.
Okay.
But Dylan Gabriel's on some watch lists. He's going to have a heck of a year. I think the receivers are there for him. The weapons are everywhere, running back, receivers. He's got great talent all around him. He's going to have a big year.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel and this team in and of itself at UCF going to try and make a push in the American Athletic, where SMU has gotten better, where I would anticipate Houston making a push here this year, getting a little bit better. Tulsa has shown that they can close out games, and Memphis is Memphis. So there's some good stuff to come in Cincinnati, back with Luke Fickell again. I think the American Athletic, it doesn't run through UCF anymore. There's a bunch of teams that are making this a very interesting conference.
Yeah, so you mentioned Cincinnati right off the top. I'll tell you, a lot of UCF fans are mixed about Cincinnati being ranked in the top. I think they're number 8 in AP polls. A lot of UCF fans are mixed about that because when we had won 25 in a row, I believe our preseason ranking was about 17.
Yeah.
So, obviously UCF paved the way for these teams in the American, like Cincinnati, to get a little more respect. Cincinnati, kind of choked on it in their bowl game this past season against Georgia in the Peach Bowl.
And I was there. They didn't. And well, the thing is, they were leading pretty much the whole way.
Yeah.
And a field goal at the end just took the wind out of the sails, which was really, really difficult to see because of the fact that they had commanded a lot of the game but just didn't close it out.
Yeah, and for UCF, October 16th is already circled on the calendar. We're going up to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
With revenge on our minds. We had them down, I believe it was 14-3 last year on our field. And even with the reduced capacity, you could totally tell that Desmond Ridder was having trouble here in the snap count. He was coming off to the sideline. Of course, I'm sitting like 4th row right behind them.
Yeah.
So I can see him coming off the field just so frustrated. And there was only maybe 14,000 people there. So imagine, UCF against these other teams they are playing at home. It's going to be a heck of a season for UCF, I think, at home, kicking off with Boise State here in just 13 days. I don't think the excitement has ever been higher. The expectations have ever been higher.
Yeah.
Gus Malzahn doing great things in recruiting. Different buildings going up at UCF. It's going to be really crazy this season. I'm really looking forward to it.
And I got to ask you about Gus Malzahn, your thoughts on bringing an SEC coach to the American.
Yeah, we talked about this right when he signed. I know I was on it and said then.
Yeah.
If it was going to be somebody to do it, I'm glad it was us, because we are the beneficiaries of, Josh Heupel just getting pulled out the door. And I think a lot of people wanted him gone. I wasn't necessarily one of them. And I, anybody that's coaching UCF, I'm going to stand up for them until they're gone.
Yeah.
I did the same thing for Randy Shannon. I was like, hey, the defense ain't that bad some game, but I'm always going to stand up for those guys. But Gus Malzahn coming to UCF is such a huge deal. Just what he's done locally already bringing in recruits from right around this area. You could throw a rock and he's brought in a guy from that school in this area. So pretty awesome to see, like, the guys that I'm watching on Friday nights as I work for the different newspapers that I work for on Fridays covering games. I'm going to get to see those guys before they come to UCF, or USF is also, doing some local recruiting as well. So, like, pretty awesome. I'm going to get to see those guys and get to follow them all the way through their college careers.
Yeah, and you have the opportunity to, like you said, because you're in this recruiting world down here, that you get to see a lot of the people that are coming through. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But with Gus, we've seen the American. They have poached. They've been poached, I should say, by the Big 12, by the ACC, by really everybody, and the SEC. And to see somebody go the other way, Mike Norvell could have left sooner. He stayed for 4 years before he went to Florida State.
Right.
We look at, Luke Fickell has stayed around in Cincinnati. We look at Gus Malzahn, coming off of Auburn and deciding to come to UCF. So there are coaches, and then Kenny Amatulolo of Navy had an opportunity to go to UCLA, some other places, decided to stay at Navy. He's the longest tenured coach by a mile in the American of over a decade now. I think he's on 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So seeing the fact that some of these coaches have been asked to join the poaching world and they haven't,
right.
And then Gus coming in, are we seeing a shift that the American can keep some of these coaches and can actually attract some of them?
Yeah, I mean, we hope it's that way. We hope it's that way because you do like to see the talent of coach, the quality of coaching be at that high level. I mean, there have been a long list of guys from the American, all of them by heart, that have left and gone on to other places, even though the American Conference is not a Power 5. All the coaches are Power 5 caliber and have been all the way from going to the bigger colleges to even having Matt Rule in the NFL now as a head coach. So the quality of coaches, the hirings that have been made in this conference through the years have definitely, a lot of them have panned out at this level. They haven't always panned out when they go to the Power 5 schools. So it's pretty awesome I'll never say anything against Gus Malzahn doing what he did because he could have sat at home, collected that $21 million check from Auburn.
Yeah.
And instead, he's pretty much come here, poached every transfer from Auburn possible, including a former 4-star quarterback yesterday. So amazing for UCF to have him in the fold and get ready for an awesome season.
Yeah, I'm very excited about what's coming up with UCF. I mean, is it surreal to you that Gus Malzahn is your head coach? I mean, do you have to kind of sit back and remind yourself, like, the guy that's writing boom is Gus now? So
yeah, I mean, I saw him in the Peach Bowl coach Auburn against UCF, Scott Frost in his last game at UCF. Somebody actually posted a picture the other day on Twitter about, caption this photo of Scott Frost and Gus Malzahn, and they're hugging at the end of the game, and I said it's Gus Malzahn asking Scott Frost, How is the Waffle House? Is it nice?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is surreal because you would never picture a coach of an SEC school immediately going from that SEC school over to a UCF or anywhere else that would be considered a smaller conference. You really wouldn't expect to see that, but it's amazing so far, and it is like a dream.
We got a message coming here from Ewan who said wide receivers Ryan O'Keefe and Jalen Robinson will have big years catching the rock. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I love Ryan O'Keefe. He's a heck of an athlete. Jalen Robinson is a guy that stretches the field for UCF. He's going to be the deep threat as Dylan Gabriel lets those 50, 60-yard bombs go down the field.
Yeah.
Jalen Robinson had a huge freshman year, and I think he's on some receiver watch lists as well already for the preseason. So, yeah, he's going to have a huge year. And they also had some transfers come in that are going to contribute right away. It's really, I mean, the weapons that Dylan Gabriel has, it's an embarrassment of riches at receiver, even losing Marlon Williams, who was one of the best receivers in the country last season.
Yeah, and it's great to see that as UCF has gained and Cincinnati has gained and Memphis continues to send people to the NFL, especially running backs, that we're living in this world where the American is rising. And I wrote an article that is on the homepage of wakeupcalldt.com called The Fall of the Big 12, What Realignment Could Look Like.
Right.
Now, I talked to Papa Joe about this, so I want to get your thoughts. So we are live from iDrive. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Torres, Florida in Focus Week. We got Jason Lucas here inside of 8801 International Drive, Orlando, Florida, the Hooters you need to be going to. And you've heard from a ton of the girls that gotten to know them over time here this week. And you can come in and get to know them even more, as well as get the Daytona style. See, I get the Daytona smoked.
Yeah.
Daytona smoked. You put them both together, let it rock that way. I actually got the burger sliders yesterday with the curly fries. Love curly fries. So there's a lot of good stuff here at Hooters. And, of course, they make, and I'm not saying this because I'm here, I'm saying this because it's true, the best Arnold Palmer I've ever had with sweet tea and lemonade. The
awesome.
Best. I've had it all week long. I'm just going to have them put it in my vein, actually, at one point. So I'm going to sit here like this so I don't have to drink while I'm on the show, and it'll be fine. But so my article that you can go and read on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage about the fall of the Big 12 and what I think realignment could look like if they lose every school.
Yeah.
So Texas and Oklahoma, I'm going to tell you my theory, and then we could discuss. Texas and Oklahoma go into the SEC, obviously, which would put TCU in a world where TCU was supposed to go to the Big East, and then the Big East dissolved. Mike Resco stayed on, became the commissioner of the American. He already has those ties with TCU. He also has just moved the headquarters to Irving, Texas.
Right down the street.
So he's right there in Irving, where they used to be in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
So here he is at Irving, Texas, with the headquarters of the American that moved during the pandemic, plus the fact that he's already got a connection to TCU, plus TCU plays non-conference games against his American athletic schools, and you have SMU and you have Houston already. So I think TCU goes to the American, gives them an even 12. They go back to Division 6 and 6. But I think that there's an outside shot. I don't even know if I want to call it an outside shot, but there's a shot that Texas Tech and Baylor could also go to the American, give them 14, give them 5 schools from the state of Texas after they just moved to the state of Texas. And I don't think that that's any coincidence that they thought, you know what, I think we should go to Irving for the American. That's pretty centrally located. So here we are with this, and I don't believe in any coincidences. And they had this thing like a couple of years ago, we're going to move to Irving, and then all this came out. And I don't believe that things just happen overnight. So Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC, TCU, Texas Tech, Baylor to the American, giving them 14. Right. SEC will have 16. And then from there, the ACC gets a team back from the Big Ten in Maryland, who takes Iowa State from the Big 12 for the Iowa-Iowa State rivalry. Maryland, that makes no sense in the Big Ten. They come home to the ACC. They go to the Atlantic Division. The Coastal Division gets West Virginia from the Big 12. Rivalries with Pittsburgh and Syracuse now are happening inside of the ACC with West Virginia. The ACC gets 16. Then we move to the Pac-12, which becomes the Pac-15. Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Kansas move to the Pac-12. And that, in my opinion, is the dissolving of the Big 12.
My gosh, you've memorized your opinion on this. And for me, just being a fan of my team, you know, I don't know. I mean, I've been making fun of the Big 12 a lot. I think I've gone on my Twitter at JasonVegas22, if you follow me there. But yeah, I've gone on my Twitter plenty of times and said, you know, I think Bob Bowlesby, the commissioner of the Big 12, really didn't see this one coming, and now he's standing in front of the building like Leslie Nielsen in The Naked Gun. He's like, there's nothing to see here. There's nothing. There's no problems.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see which way college football itself goes over the next 5 years. Obviously, Texas and Oklahoma moving over to the SEC is going to cause a shift of power like you've never seen before. And I think the SEC honestly needs to look at itself in the mirror and say, hey, Vanderbilt, get out of here. Get out. Go, Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Bye. You don't give us anything in basketball. You don't give us anything in football. Your baseball team's kind of good.
Yeah.
But get out. Get out of here.
Well, and that's the thing is they got to figure out what they're going to do. The SEC having 16 and having Oklahoma and Texas, it puts you in a situation where I get it. Oklahoma and Texas want to make more money.
Yeah.
But they already make a ton of money.
Sure.
And then recruiting, you recruit, but now I guess, you know, you're going to recruit better, but you already have good recruiting. My issue with Oklahoma and Texas moving, if I'm the AD or the coach, is how is Oklahoma ever going to have more than 8 wins, and how is Texas ever going to have more than 6? That's how I look at it. I'm going to move to the SEC, but I'm never going to win an SEC championship. I'm probably not ever going to play in the SEC championship game, except for maybe if I'm Oklahoma for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to happen. And if I'm Texas for sure, I'm kind of Arkansas or Vanderbilt now in the SEC. So what is the point? And Texas A&M, they're banging on the door, but they still have to go through Alabama, and nobody's going to get through that. So Jimbo Fisher's always going to be in the conference, whatever, and won because he's going to lose to Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, that power of Saban never really goes anywhere. Season after season, he might lose one stinker of a game here or there, but, I mean, other than that, Alabama's been a machine for about the last 12 seasons or so.
Yeah.
And it's the toughest road. It's the toughest road in college football to be in that SEC West because not just Alabama. LSU has great seasons here and there.
Yeah.
They can be tough. Auburn can be tough here and there through the years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just choosing that, just being like, hey, yeah, I want to go be in the SEC West.
Yeah.
why when you could just be in the Big 12 and,
Yeah.
if you're Oklahoma, you run the table in the Big 12. That's good enough. That's gotten them in the playoff already.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to be jumping over, but I mean, money is money.
Well, I think
And-
my reality is if I'm Oklahoma or Texas, I'm like, yeah, we'll join the SEC South because there isn't one.
Yeah, make one up.
Yeah, we'll just join our own we'll join our own division within the
We'll
conference.
join the one where we play Vanderbilt twice.
Yeah, we'll play Vanderbilt twice. We'll play Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll play Kentucky because they're competitive.
Put
but
Kentucky on there, yeah.
So
We'll make
but-
our own schedule. We'll get there and we'll make our own schedule, and it will not have LSU, Alabama, Florida.
And our non-conference schedule is going to be all the Big 12 teams that don't play defense. We're just going to keep playing them for Oklahoma.
If you could just bring South Carolina here for homecoming, that'd be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean that's where it's at. I mean, the SEC they have Auburn, Georgia, LSU, Florida, Alabama, Texas A&M. That's enough.
Yeah.
And I just don't see. I think Oklahoma's going to do it once or twice. I don't think Texas is going to do it at all. But once or twice in a decade, is that good enough for you? I mean, you're not going to win the SEC championship, but once or twice to make the college football playoff when it expands to 12.
Yeah.
I mean, is that enough for you, or why doesn't the SEC just play its own playoff and have its own league, and then everybody else is in the NCAA, and the SEC just has their own essential college football playoff? Because right now, 4 to 6 teams of their own
Yeah.
is very much good enough to watch and good enough to get competition and good enough to see. And you can argue that the current state of the college football playoff outside of Clemson should be all SEC teams.
Yeah, and you mentioned Clemson. I was just thinking to myself, gosh, they should just invite Clemson. Invite USC maybe, so they have somebody from out west.
Yeah.
And just invite whoever they think is going to be part of a super conference and just do their own thing.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I mean, grabbing Texas and Oklahoma, who were the only real respectable schools in the Big 12, I mean, that kind of takes that conference way off to where, everybody thinks the schools are going to just break off and dissolve now because the conference itself is now not that strong.
Right.
I mean, I would say that
They're the Big Eight now.
Cincinnati, UCF, Tulsa, all those kind of schools now are every bit as good, if not better, than the schools in the Big 12. And we've spoken about that for the last 5 years, going back to 2017 when UCF ran the table.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think TCU knows the value. I think Texas Tech would know the value. Baylor definitely knows the value because they took Matt Rule from Temple.
Right.
So I think that when you really take a step back, if I'm a Big 12 team and I'm one of the 8 left, I would rather go to the American than stay where I'm at. Yeah. I would rather leave the dumpster fire and then go renegotiate with ESPN to have the AAC network and have a bigger contract.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice to have our own deal?
No.
And just get more money in, because right now I think the conference is making about $7 million a year, which is the most they've ever made. The schools get $7 million a year off the TV deal with ESPN. So
yeah.
But even then, like, some of the games in the American, they'll be on CBS Sports Network, and you got to wait for somebody in front of you to end. Instead of with ESPN, you can just switch over to the app or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's definitely
CBS Sports
things.
Network is the hardest. It's the hardest internet thing to get on. When you finally get on, it's like, oh, we're blacked out in your network.
Well,
or in
there's
your
that,
region.
and then also they show so many commercials. If you're at the game and you see it's on CBS Sports Network, you better not make any plans for 4.5 hours.
Oh yeah.
Like even the game with the running clock, how they have it now compared to how it used to be when the clock stopped no matter what if you went out of bounds.
Yeah.
Even now, the games are still 4.5 hours, and if it's a high scoring game, forget it. I mean, you might be there for 5.
So we have a question coming in. So before we take our first fast break here, live from iDrive, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live from Hooters on 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. So happy to be here all week long for Florida in Focus, bringing you into your college football and NFL seasons. We have a question that came through that asked us to give a prediction on the UCF Knights football schedule, what we think their record is going to be this year. So I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, shoot.
And we'll go down the line. So you
Okay.
can go down the line and say win-loss, and then I'll go through and do the same. So we'll start you here. And so Jason and I are both going to tell you, Boise State, win or lose, Bethune-Cookman, so go ahead.
Okay, so Boise State's the opening night, Thursday, 7 p.m., ESPN.
Yep.
Big whole deal that we're going to have in 13 days from now. Boise State, obviously one of the most talented teams in the group of 5. I think definitely they're going to give UCF every little bit that UCF's going to want. Obviously, you've got Dylan Gabriel learning a new system under a new head coach. UCF may struggle early, but I feel like the Knights will have enough to get it done. I think the stadium is going to be crazy. It's going to be loud. It's going to be tough for Boise State to communicate. I see it being mid-30s game, but UCF's going to pull it out in the end.
Okay. So I'm going to say with this Boise State game, Boise's coming over from Idaho. It's a big-time game. I think if you're playing on the Smurf turf, it's an even more dangerous game.
Yeah.
I do think this is a 33-31 game, 34-30, 34-31, something like that. I'm going to give this slight edge by a field goal at the end to UCF. So I'm also going to pick UCF.
Wow, you're putting your money on our kicker?
Ooh. At some point, he's going to make a field goal.
If it's within 30 yards, he's got it.
Okay. Bethune-Cookman, we could both say win.
UCF that game will be off the books. I mean, that's a win.
So 2-0 at Louisville, which Syracuse always struggles at Cardinal Stadium. Thoughts on Louisville there? Or thoughts on UCF there?
I'm not even going to lie to you, Dan. I don't know a whole lot about Louisville's roster or what they're bringing in.
Malik Cunningham's back at quarterback. They lost their top two receivers. Okay. They're up and down around the corner. Last year they were ranked in the nation's top 25, and then they fell off the face of the earth when Miami took them to town, and a lot of teams took them to house last year. So,
well, let me say this: Dylan Gabriel in 2 years at UCF. You tell me his signature win. Is there one? Signature win for Dylan Gabriel in the first 2 years when he had a chance at Pittsburgh, at Cincinnati, his first year that he was there.
Yeah. Okay.
At Memphis last year would have been one maybe.
Yeah.
Does he have one? This would be a first one for Dylan Gabriel on the road at Louisville.
All right.
If he does it, and I'm not saying that he might or is or not.
Yeah.
I think we have enough talent to win every game we play this season. It's just a matter of composure.
Yeah.
And staying calm. And that was one thing under the Heupel era that UCF fans could see. You could see the players coming to the sideline, ripping their helmet off, throwing it.
Yeah.
All sorts of just discipline issues with the team.
Yeah.
If Gus Malzahn has solved all of that, there's no reason UCF cannot go to Louisville and get a win.
Okay. So we are going to so you're going to say yes. I'm going to say a loss.
Okay.
I'm going to say 2-1 at Navy.
At Navy, that's always a tough one because
triple option.
Ken loves to run that football, and then fake it, and then throw it over our heads because we're sitting on it. I'm gonna put my money on Travis Williams, the UCF defensive coordinator, who's one of the most badass people I follow on Twitter.
Okay.
So let's go UCF defense, and we'll score every time we get the ball against them.
I'm going to say UCF as well. So I have 3-1. You have 4-0. East Carolina on family weekend back at home.
Yeah, happy birthday to me. It's 4 days before my birthday that game. So, yeah, that's a win.
I'm going to put win as well. You got 5-0. I got 4-1 at Cincinnati.
So here we go again with the discipline issues, and this is what I'm talking about. We're going to know a lot more about UCF after that trip to Louisville. If they pull that one off, Cincinnati, we're upset that they're a top 10 team, but at the same time, if they've won all their games up to October 16th, they should probably be a top 5 team.
Yeah.
And that'll be a top 5 upset on the road if UCF is able to pull it off. I don't think they will.
Okay. So you got them at 5-1.
So that would be a great start to the season. I think it's going to be a close ball game.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, that atmosphere they put together up there is very comparable to UCF. It's crazy. It's loud.
Yeah.
And it's really going to be up to the maturity of Dylan Gabriel to pull that offense through and make them able to get out of there with the win.
I can't see them winning at Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is going to push. I believe they should have been in the college football playoff as the 4th team last year. I think they're chip on their shoulder all season long. They're going to play pissed, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So and this is 5 days before my birthday. So I think this game is going to be a huge game, October 16th on Saturday. UCF at Cincinnati. I'm going to go with Cincinnati in this one. Memphis at home the day after my birthday.
Memphis do they bring back their quarterback?
Memphis has they had Brady White.
Is he gone? Is he finally gone? They've had Brady White for like 14 years.
Yeah, I believe Brady White has moved on. Peter Parrish,
and Gainwell and those guys are gone.
Yeah.
They don't have Yeah, that ought to be a win.
Yeah, it's a quarterback battle right now. Yeah, Brady White has finished up. I want to
at home. That should be a win. There's no reason that shouldn't be a win.
So 6-1. I'm going to call that a win as well because whenever I've seen Memphis play UCF in UCF, it's been UCF. So I'm going to go with, and that was with Mike Norvell as the coach at Temple against Rod Carey.
That's a win. And don't know a whole lot about what Temple's got coming back. They've had some talent through the years and been tough, but UCF, the last trip there, I think won like 63-21.
Yeah.
Something like that. It was ugly, so I expect to see that again.
The day before Halloween, I have a win as well. No spook, no scare here. 7-1 for Jason, 6-2 for me at this point. Tulane at home. Homecoming.
Homecoming, I mean, there's a reason why you put them on the schedule, homecoming. You ought to cream Tulane. That shouldn't even be a contest. UCF ought to be favored by 4 touchdowns probably.
So you got them at 8-1. I got them at 7-2 at this point. At SMU, they got some good home-looking stretch here. They play 3 of 4 at home to finish things out. Their last road game of the regular season is November 13th on a Saturday in Dallas, Texas at SMU.
Tough one as long as we get the weather we want going to Dallas. There was a time when we went to Dallas and I believe the temperature was somewhere near 0.
Yeah.
And it was snowing and we went up there and ended up capping off a conference victory in 2013, conference title. So, yeah, I definitely think that's a win.
So you got them at 9-1. I'm going to say there's a trip up here, and I'm going to put them at 7-3. I think they can be 8-2, but SMU is a problem, and they're a problem on the road. UConn at home, who is no longer a part of the conference, they wanted to potentially, allegedly, stay for just football, and the commissioner and the conference said, if you're leaving, you're leaving, just like I say in my relationships.
And
so if you're going, please don't leave any of your stuff at my house.
Just like we left the civil conflict trophy on the sideline because we didn't want it. I don't know why UCF even agreed to play this game. Playing UConn
for a win.
Playing UConn is basically like playing 1AA school at this point. That should be a 40-point blowout.
10-1 at this point. I have them at 8-3 with a victory over UConn. South Florida in the Bounce House, November 26th on a Friday night. The game will be at either 3:30 or 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It hasn't been declared yet. In Orlando, Florida, the battle of Central Florida and South Florida will happen on November 26th at UCF.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. 2 of the guys I covered last season ended up at South Florida. So definitely looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great game. Both those guys being freshmen, definitely they'll make some plays against UCF. But just watching South Florida the last few years, it's really going to depend upon, do they start Timmy McClain over there at South Florida? He's the quarterback from right here, Seminole High School, that I watched last season win the state championship. I think he's going to do some great things over there. I think UCF defensively will do enough to win that football game.
Yeah, I think UCF. I think South Florida is getting better, but they're not there yet. So I am going to declare UCF 9-3 this season with a victory in their rivalry game, and Jason is going to declare them 11-1. They're 11-1. They're going to be right there, right behind Cincinnati.
Yeah. And
I think that they can be 10-2. I'm going to safely say 9-3, but hear it on my show. I'm not going to be surprised if they're 10-2.
And I could have easily went the way you went too. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the last time I sat and did a prediction for UCF, I said they'd lose 4 games, and they went 13-0 and said, "Ha, you idiot." So you really never know when you sit and do these things before you've watched the team play.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have all the weapons to even run the table. If they have everything you need to run the table and get to the college football playoff. I'm not saying that Cincinnati is even better.
Yeah.
It's just that's going to be a tough trip.
And we're going to bring Bethany back here with us. So she's going to come around this way, bring her back on the broadcast. As we had her here with us on the Papa Joe one. You had a good time with Papa Joe.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, PJ was good stuff. So we've talked about a lot of things. We're going to go to a couple other places here. So I'm going to say if you had one meal that you could eat for the rest of your life and you could never have anything else, what would you eat and why?
Pizza.
With pizza.
I love
Okay.
pizza.
The best answer.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of pizza?
Just cheese.
Just cheese.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
like meat that much.
Is there a place in Florida that has good pizza?
I'd say Lazy Moon in Orlando.
Lazy
You guys have
Moon,
heard of
okay.
it?
All
Yeah.
right. I've been to Mellow Mushroom.
Mellow Mushroom, their pizza's okay, yeah.
They have barbecue chicken pizza,
Yeah,
so it's
it's
a little bit
good.
different. So we discussed music. What's a song that you could never listen to again? Like if you hear it on the radio, you want to shut it off immediately. I have one.
You do?
I dial it up so easy. It's Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Girls just, oh no, that's a good song.
Every woman likes it. I do not. I am not a fan. I am not. When I hear it at a wedding, I sit down.
Oh my gosh. I can't, there's a lot of songs actually. Anything like slow,
Okay.
yeah, or sad songs I don't like.
So no ballad, no like. See, my thing is I can get into my feelings if I'm in that mode.
Yeah.
Really?
But coming here, like driving to Hooters in the morning to do the live show,
Yeah.
it's got to be Drake, Wayne.
yes.
It has to me. I have to get something to like. I got to
Yeah.
get put on for
Pump
My
up,
City
yeah.
by Young Jeezy. Something's got to like rise me up in the morning.
Yeah, me too.
So, what's the go-to driving into work at Hooters?
Do you really want to know?
I do want to know.
I love like Kodak,
Okay.
Melly.
Okay.
Like
No
that's
idea who
some
these
like
people are.
I know
some-
Kodak. Yeah.
They're rappers. Like that's what hypes
Okay.
me up. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to be put in
See,
like.
I'm like
Lil Wayne.
Nas, Juvenile. Like I'm a little
Yeah.
more old. You know, I'm old.
Well, yeah, Biggie and all that. But the thing is, like Drake will always get me
Drake's
there.
awesome, yeah.
He'll always like get me ready for the morning. But put on by Young Jeezy, I said the day that I do my stand-up comedy at the Dome in Syracuse, in my hometown, when I come out first,
With
it's
two
put
middle
on for My
fingers
City.
too, right?
Oh yeah, put on for My City by Young. It's got to be that
Yeah.
song. I've already chosen that. So
Can't go wrong with Drake.
that's the one I like to hear in the morning. So
Yeah.
favorite Drake song ever?
Oh my goodness.
There's so many.
Wow.
There is. I like his older music, like from back in, I'd say like, I was in middle school, so like,
Okay.
yeah, his old school music
Well, the
from
first
like 10 years ago.
The first that I ever like memorized one of his verses was "I'm Going In" with Wayne. So that's the first one that I knew. So and I actually learned. I was down here, and so I was living in Kissimmee at the time, and I remember distinctly being in the passenger seat, putting my hat on, and going like, "I'm about to get this." So because I had just it's still to this day one of my favorites. But
Yeah.
my favorite Drake line of all time, because Drake likes Toronto, which I do too. The
Yeah.
Raptors.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
He
Here it comes.
he's born in October, like me too. He raps about Hooters, and I talk about Hooters. So we got a lot of things in common.
Wait, does it really?
He does.
What does he say? I
He
don't
talks
even know.
about the girl from Hooters on Peachtree. So Paris. So he talks about her, and
Now
she
I
was like the
look
one
that
that got away or something like that.
Yeah.
So
no.
of all the things we have in common, my favorite line that he does, because I love all this stuff, is he says, "It's a celebration, clap, clap, bravo, lobster and shrimp and a glass of Moscato." And I like Moscato and I love seafood. So
Oh, me too. That's
So-
great. I love.
I was waiting for you to say, "Get that ring," just like Toronto.
oh yeah, that's
That's
the
where I
Bieber
thought you were
line.
going when you
That's the
said
Bieber
Toronto.
line. Yeah, no. And then my favorite Wayne line is, "I walk light so I don't piss the ground off." And I don't know why I like that so
Yeah.
much. Or "Yes, I am wheezy, but I ain't asthmatic." I also like that one too. So
I love that.
so you met Papa Joe and Mary yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome people.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
So what was your favorite thing about doing the interview with Papa Joe?
Just like getting to be online is pretty cool. I don't know.
Being able to hang out there.
Yeah.
So
Get to know 'em.
I'm going to allow Jason to ask a question here. I'm going to open up because sometimes my guest will ask a guest. So
All right.
any question.
Favorite thing to do in Orlando?
Favorite thing? Go to downtown.
Okay.
I love downtown. There's so much to do. There's like swans at Lake Eola. There's everything. You can walk to whatever. Yeah. There's all the bars and like Publix, all the restaurants. Yeah, it's nice.
Do you follow any of the teams here?
All the what?
Any of the
teams.
teams? The Magic? Any of that?
Oh,
UCF?
yeah. I like going to the Orlando Magic games. I used to go to them, but haven't been in a while. So
Okay.
yeah, they're fun though. They're
The
so
Amway
fun.
Center is awesome.
And have you heard of the Orlando Predators, the football team? No. Okay. So we do have an arena football team here too that I'm kind of part of. I'm
yeah.
kind of part of.
Yeah.
Kind of not because there's not a paycheck involved. But yeah.
Okay.
So Orlando
Nice.
Predators,
Football team,
indoor
yeah.
arena league. So that's also, so there's always something coming up here. I mean, Orlando City
Yeah.
SC wasn't here before. The Orlando Pride wasn't here before for soccer.
Right.
So there's a lot of good stuff that, I mean, Orlando's always growing.
Yeah, right.
I think
it
those-
is.
Always under construction for sure.
Oh my
I-4.
gosh, it's the worst.
I-4
It's
is
so.
always-
Oh my gosh.
Or when you're driving on I-4 and there's no construction, there you literally keep driving and there was nothing, like people were just driving by a car watching the accident.
Oh yeah, nosy people.
Like
just-
being in
that
a
makes-
tourist city, they literally watch everything.
Yeah.
I remember, well, I was driving on I-4 one night, and there was nothing on I-4. There was no
Yeah.
accident, no construction, nothing.
Yeah.
People were stopping on the highway because by Dave & Buster's there was a building on fire, and people
Oh
were
my
stopping on the
God.
highway to watch the building
Oh,
burn.
dude, check it out,
People
check it
are
out.
like so ridiculous. I can't.
But you know,
it's a tourist.
It is. Yeah.
There's
well,
a lot
people
of
love
tourists.
they love to see. I mean,
Yeah.
when it's a tourist place,
Yeah.
it literally anywhere, just stop. Like when it says at Disney, it is not safe to stop when you're going into Disney, and people stop
Yeah.
still all the time, take pictures, they get out of
Yeah.
their car. So yeah, it's
People are just, you only live once, I guess.
you only live once, and do you really want to die looking at a fire on
I
the
guess
highway
they
at I-4?
do.
So
Honey, get the camera. Honey,
Yeah.
get the camera.
It's worth it.
very true. So Bethany, you guys asked a question yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you put us on the hot seat again. You can ask Jason first, and then me. So
Okay.
whatever you got.
So you're from Orlando?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're with the football team, you were saying?
Yeah,
Or-
I kind of work with them, and I
Okay.
have worked with them in the past. And another pro football team that was here too. I was their
Okay.
public relations
Oh, that's
director.
really cool.
We did a lot of stuff with Dan. That's how Dan and I met. We started doing our fantasy league here in 2010
Oh,
at
wow.
the Point Orlando one.
Oh, wow.
So
Right off the road.
We've been around the block with
Yeah.
Hooters for a long
11
time.
I
years.
was 12.
Wow.
Dang.
Wait, let me go
I'm
back.
23 now, so
23. Wow.
12 years old when we started our draft.
that's great.
So wait,
Awesome.
so I started my connection, my relationship, professional working relationship with Hooters 11 years ago, and 11 years ago you were 12.
Yeah.
So my relationship with Hooters is almost as old as you. That's insane.
I was like 27 then. So.
Oh, wow.
How old was I back then? Wait, hold on. When
Well,
was
you're
that?
younger than me.
Well, let me think. 2010,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So 2010, I was 25.
Yeah. See, we were
Yeah.
babies back then.
Yeah, I was.
You
20. I
guys
was
are
gonna
still
be 25.
babies. What you
I was
mean?
gonna be 25.
You guys are young.
Back then we were babies. Had a lot more hair too.
I feel
Both of us.
younger now than I felt back then. Oh no, I keep my hair. I just shave it off.
Oh no! If I lost my hair is everything.
Oh yeah. No, my hair will grow. My hair
Yeah.
is the Hispanic Italian,
Yeah.
thick,
Same.
dark
Yeah.
hair, but I shave it off all the time. So.
I took this so
Let
off
it
tangent.
grow
What were you
out.
asking me?
So where's this football? Like where do they play at?
The same place the Magic do.
Oh.
Amway Center. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Oh, it's indoor.
It's indoors, so the
Indoor
field's only
football, yeah.
50 yards.
Okay.
So it's half the NFL field. It's basically like if you took a quarter of an NFL field
yeah.
from the 50-yard line in, that's it.
That's so cool.
And it's really it's if you ever go to a hockey game there, it's kind
Yeah.
of the same setup. The seats are all pulled
right.
back.
Okay, that's awesome.
And
I
it's
gotta
cheap.
check it out.
It's cheap. I get
Yeah.
free tickets all the time. Let me know.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it is fun.
Okay, I'll
Yeah, it
look
is
me
fun.
up.
Very
Definitely
cool.
go to that.
All right, what's your question for me? What do you got?
For you, let's see. Darn.
I've been here all week, and I feel like that gives them an opportunity to
They
like.
should know everything about you by now.
I know.
Yeah, this is kind of hard. Where's your favorite place to visit? I can answer this for you.
My favorite place to visit here?
Yeah, Hooters. Right?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. I know that.
I
Damn
mean-
Disney.
Yeah, so I think restaurant wise, with Tim Baum 11 years ago, I mean I love coming out here because I've gotten to know you guys this week.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many personalities here, and there's so much everybody's different. Everybody's got a cool story to tell. So I'm really happy that we got to do these features for Hooters of America as well as Hooters I Drive. And I think beyond that, my favorite place to visit, I mean, I do a Disney show called Dan on Disney, and it took off on Instagram. It just like went
That's cool.
nuts. And so I love going to Disney, and I will be there today.
Yeah.
So
Oh, nice. Where? What
I'm
park?
going to Hollywood Studios and probably Animal Kingdom.
I'm so jealous. I love
Nice.
Disney. I've been
Okay.
going there since I was like out the womb.
Okay.
Yeah.
My parents
Same,
were like diehard
same.
fans. Yeah.
So favorite character?
From
Disney.
Disney, I say Pluto. I love dogs. So.
Favorite character.
Yeah.
That is my favorite character.
Yeah.
Pluto is
dogs
my
are so
favorite.
cute.
I like Goofy. Honestly.
Goofy?
Goofy's my dude. Yeah.
Is
Why?
my-
Why is that?
Yeah. I'm Goofy as hell.
I'm Pluto 1, Goofy 2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I love the dogs, but yeah, it's weird to speak for a living and pick the character that doesn't talk.
Yeah.
But I love Pluto
Well, maybe that's why he's the best one because he doesn't talk.
because he doesn't say anything,
Right.
and you just know he's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually changed my Facebook thing to have Pluto with me in the picture.
Yeah. Wasn't he
I
like
love
bombing
that.
you in the back?
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
that's cool. So, favorite park?
I say Epcot just because I love going around like the world.
She has to
and
drink.
yes, you got to. It's awesome.
Got
And just like you get to know like different cultures that you would have never
It's
like
cool.
known about. Yeah, you learn a lot there. So I think it's really like educational, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
Favorite country that you go to there?
There,
Yeah.
I would say. I don't know. It's hot. Canada's really cool.
Canada's cool.
I
Did you
just
get the
like-
Martin Short
yeah.
video?
And
Do they
it-
still do that? I haven't been there in years.
I believe so,
When
and
First
they
walk
have
in,
the
it's a
Apple
Martin
Orchard.
Short.
now.
Like you stand there, and Martin Short's doing a whole video about Canada.
I think so.
in the back. You got to
they
go
don't-
there now.
Because you're not
though.
drunk yet when you're at Canada either. 'Cause it's the first one on the right.
No, actually, I go to the left. So I start at
Oh,
Mexico,
shoot,
and
so
you
you're
go
already-
around.
Well,
That
if you
No wonder
start,
you don't remember.
If you start in Mexico, you're already in trouble.
yeah, tequila.
Oh, it's the base.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, you start at Mexico and then you just don't leave Mexico.
Yeah,
It's like, so what countries have you been to? Mexico.
I spent the day in Mexico.
Spent the whole day in Mexico. I got here at 11 a.m. and now it's 9 o'clock. So
Got stuck.
Pina coladas.
yeah, I like Italy. I love Italy.
Italy's nice.
Their
yeah.
Moscato's awesome.
Morocco
food's
is
good,
really cool because they have like the belly dancer if you go eat inside, so that's
Yeah.
like entertaining.
My favorite
Like
was
that.
Norway, but I think they got rid of the ride.
Yeah, they have Elsa.
Do you remember the ride? What it would
They
do?
have
You'd
Frozen
be on
now.
a boat and you'd go backwards down a hill.
They
still-
do that now, but it's
they s-
Frozen.
Yeah.
Is it?
And like,
Frozen.
It's Frozen, the movie. Yeah.
like Elsa, like the one that all
I'll
these
have to
little
take
kids
my-
are praising.
I'll have to take my girls there. I have two
Yeah.
little girls that just
Aw.
absolutely they
Okay, they'll
love
love
Elsa
that.
and Anna. It's their favorite.
It's like every little kid's favorite character right now.
Yup.
It's crazy.
They wear the dresses. They have the
Oh,
dolls. it's-
that's so cute.
And then they
you have to
rotate
take them
watching the movies 1 and 2.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. I want to get the hat Samantha. Where's like Samantha with the question mark? I like that. So it's very good. Josh Gad did a phenomenal job at
Yeah.
being Olaf.
Josh Gad's
So
funny.
very funny.
He's funny.
So, final note, I'm going to make it a Disney note for you, Bethany. What is one thing that can never leave Disney because it would break your heart if it did? Literally anything.
One thing.
Yeah. I already have some stuff that's not there anymore that I'm like,
Oh, there's a few things.
okay, you can name them.
You can name them. Fire away.
I'm the host, I'll allow it.
You go first.
What things that I would
Yeah.
So I never got to be on 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and now it's
Oh, really?
now it's a friggin'
You never got to go on that?
no, it's now it legitimately is just tables for people to eat. Like there's nothing there. So I would say if anything left, I would say if the Raceway left because it's my dad's favorite ride.
Right.
I would say if Dumbo left because it's my mom's
Yeah.
favorite
Right.
ride.
Dumbo's fun.
It's classic.
And then I would say if Everest left, it's my favorite. So I cannot lose Everest.
Oh, I don't like roller coasters.
I love Everest, love it. And so I would say if I lost Everest, and then restaurant. Well, I'm trying to think. If I lost the Boma or Ohana,
Ohana is really nice.
I love Ohana.
At the Polynesian, right? Yeah. It's really fun.
So those would be my. But they've already taken some stuff away. They took away Illuminations, the Epcot fireworks, and that was my favorite.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Dude, the
It
rock
sucks.
and roller coaster though, that would be mine.
Really?
I love the rock and roller coaster.
I want
love
Journey to
Aerosmith.
take over that. I love Aerosmith, but I want to hear
that'd
some
be
Journey.
cool, yeah. I think Haunted Mansion for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
Ooh.
that can't leave. That's
Yeah, you're just sitting there and you're like, oh shit.
yeah.
And they've upgraded it over time, so
And it's really
nice.
cool, yeah. Yeah, I like it how they upgraded it. They have they took away when I was little. It was like Toontown, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And they changed it, and I like that was my childhood. Like that was my favorite thing to do when I was little. Just go there and go through like Mickey's house. I love that.
Mine was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh yeah, they
huge
took
graph.
that
Hollywood,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I'm saddened by the fact that he's considered a bastard child of Disney, and they never bring him out. And they used to bring him to Toontown. Is Darkwing Duck, who is
Oh,
my
really?
favorite. Yeah.
And my daughter's favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. She saw your shirt and
So-
she goes, let's get dangerous.
Yeah. So we're not biological brothers, but we're brothers. And so I'm Uncle Dan to Carly and Gracie.
Aw.
And I wore my Darkwing Duck shirt, which I have. I always have it with
Of
me.
course you have it.
So I wore my shirt, and I'm thinking, they're 6 and 4.
Yeah.
There's no way in heck that these girls are going to know who this is. And they ran up and they pointed to him and they started singing the theme song. And I was like, if these aren't my nieces, like, these are my nieces.
Yeah.
Blood couldn't be
Aw,
closer than this. And they kept coming up and going, Darkwing Duck. And so it was
That's so
awesome. Yeah. So I got the right
And then you
nieces.
got to get on
Yeah.
the trampoline and have a good time with them.
Yeah, and then they got me on a trampoline for the first time in like 20 years. So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Yeah, you were flying on that trampoline too.
I get ups. I am a lighter skinned man who can jump. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can actually jump.
I can
so,
just do flips
yeah.
I can't do either.
because my daughter does gymnastics and she taught me how to do a front flip.
Oh really? That's awesome.
Yeah, so I can do front flips with my hands or no hands.
Yeah.
How old were you when you learned that?
38.
Oh wow.
This year. I just
maybe
learned it this
I'll
year.
learn it.
Yeah, it's something to learn. I would love to learn
Yeah.
how to do a backflip. That's what I want to
Yeah,
learn.
backflip I would have to work on.
I
The
want-
confidence to do
Yeah.
it, to know that you're going
Yeah.
that way, and if you land on your neck the wrong way, like that's
Ooh,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're done.
I want to learn how to do it.
I don't have time for extended hospital stays.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's worth the shot. It is a tourist attraction, and if I tried to do a backflip on I-4, everyone would stop and watch me. I know that.
And get
There's
their
no
phones
doubt.
out.
There's
Yeah.
no doubt they would
Yeah.
be a 3-hour.
The 40 car pileup would be because people are watching me backflip by the burning building. So with that being said, Bethany, as always, it's a pleasure.
It's
Thank
a
you so
pleasure,
much.
yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet
Nice
you.
to meet you too.
So
Have a
we're-
good one, guys.
You too. So we're going to take a step aside here for a fast break. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live from Hooters on iDrive on 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. You need to make your way out here. They open at 11 o'clock daily. And, of course, they're open all throughout the week. They're open for all your games. Hooters girls are awesome. You get to know them all week long here with us. And Bethany is one of just 2 that have reprised their roles here. Ashlyn and Bethany have been back here a couple times with us.
Wow.
So shout out to them. We're going to take
go.
a step aside for a fast break. We'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Cabal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafecabal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Cabal needs. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live on site, on location for Florida in Focus Week. Hanging out here with you live from iDrive on 8801 International Drive right here in Orlando, Florida. And Hooters has been great to us all week long. Absolutely. Jason Lucas sitting in here. Jason from the PR world as well as the media. He's seen all different angles of the sports world. And we are here to discuss a bunch of different things, a bunch of different angles that are going on in college and the NFL, as Tim Baum and the crew at Hooters have entrusted me with this being the football kickoff week. So Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live from iDrive here in Orlando. My show gets to kick off the college football and the NFL season, which, believe it or not, is a couple weeks away for one and a little bit more for the other. So we've spoken about UCF. I want to go to, and we've talked about realignment. I want to go to the college football playoff and where we could be. It looks like it's gone through the chain of command. And what I think is funny is like 2035, 2036, they're like, oh, you know, we're not going to change anything. We signed this agreement. We're going to keep this agreement going for as long as we possibly can and yada, yada, and all that BS. But the reality of it all is when enough people put up a stink that have pull in the college football world, you're going to change it whenever you have to change it. If I know anything about college football, contracts mean nothing. Players transfer all the time. Coaches sign 3-year extensions and are gone 3 days later. So the contract for the college football playoff, that easily, like anything else, can be adjusted.
Yes, sir.
And so it's gone through the chain of command. And I believe here in September, there's one more hit for it to take. And if it passes that place, then it looks like we're going to have 12. What are your thoughts on a 12-team college football playoff?
Finally, like we've been waiting. We've been talking about getting this gift for years.
Yeah.
For the little guys, for guys like UCF and Cincinnati to be able to be included.
Yeah.
And at least get a shot. That's all anybody ever wanted was a shot.
Yeah.
So, pretty big deal for us. I think also for those teams that were always just outside looking in. And you know, you can't get upset when Notre Dame gets in there every year as much as you did in the past because they'd get in there and not score any points. So, they did in 2017 when they shouldn't have got in, and they did.
When they went 12-0 because of the movie Rudy and because of their history and because people like Notre Dame and because their alumni
and Newt Rockne
have a lot of money and they could get to them.
Touchdown, Jesus.
The reality of it all is it should be year to year. I'm not knocking Notre Dame alumni. I'm not knocking you having money. I'm not knocking the movie Rudy. I'm saying it's not based on that. It's based on each year. That's what it's based on. Okay? That's if the Cowboys, if we base the NFL on America's team and who used to win and who we used to like, then the Cowboys will get an automatic ticket to the Super Bowl.
You ain't kidding. So my Dolphins.
So the reality to me is you got to go year by year. And Notre Dame, they set a dangerous precedent at saying if you go 12-0 and on paper you play USC who wasn't good that year and Stanford who wasn't good that year and you barely beat Vandy and you barely beat Ball State and you beat Syracuse at home without their quarterback and you beat Florida State when they stink and you only played 2 ranked teams and you barely got by, but that's good enough. And then this past year to tell them that it was good enough because they beat Clemson, but they lost to Clemson, and when they beat Clemson, it was at home in double overtime against the backup quarterback.
Yep.
So it took you 2 overtimes to play a guy who had barely played a lick of college football at home just to win. And then when you play Trevor Lawrence, you get annihilated in the ACC championship game. And they asked the selection, the College Football Playoff Selection Committee's chair, his thoughts. And he's like, well, they have a win over Clemson. I said, they also have a loss, sir. And they have a loss over a full-throttle Clemson. So, again, it doesn't make any sense. 4 spots has never been enough because the 4 spots are Alabama, another SEC, Clemson, and open. Yeah. And so, as I said yesterday and I've said for a while, the American Athletics' biggest helper, the UCF's biggest helper, Cincinnati's biggest helper was the Pac-12, the Big 12, and the Big 10 going, yo, we're not getting in every year.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to play our championship game because it doesn't even matter.
You're not kidding.
So I said the biggest help was going to be a help. It was going to be an assist by accident.
Yeah.
It was going to be the
Infighting.
ball came off of the backboard and you put it up, but the wrong team kind of bounced the ball off the backboard for you.
Yeah, the infighting that caused. Notre Dame getting in year after year. It caused the infighting that we were hoping for, which we talked about years ago.
Yeah.
That eventually having a 4-team format when you've got 5 major conferences plus Notre Dame that you always want to let in.
Yeah.
You're going to exclude somebody no matter what. Sometimes 2 or 3 somebodies when the SEC gets 2.
The top of 2 conferences aren't going to get in, and then what are you going to do with Notre Dame? I mean, you're always struggling. Oklahoma has gotten in, Ohio State's gotten in sometimes, but it's been Clemson and Alabama. And they put Clemson and Alabama in such a place where they don't have to play each other in the first round, in the semifinals. So you're essentially still getting a BCS inside of the current college football playoff format. You bring it to 12. If you bring it to 12 and you do what they say they're going to do, which is they're going to take the top 6 conference champions, then that would more than likely put the American Athletic, and if the Big 12 dissolves, it'll definitely put the American Athletic, and then the other 6 ranked, and that's going to be SEC, SEC, probably, and maybe some Big 10 or something in there. But at least UCF, Memphis, Houston, Cincinnati, somebody's going to get a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. Put that spotlight on me. Let me go play against the biggest, baddest dog in the SEC.
Yeah.
Just give me a shot. I don't care if I lose by 40 points.
Yeah.
At least I got to go. Somebody asked me to dance. At least somebody said, hey, this is the big dance, and you are invited, and I want to see you in that spotlight, and you get this paycheck, too, for the game.
Farron says just make sure the Gators make it. Exactly. That's it.
Has that happened yet?
No, the Gators have not made it. The Gators, I said with Dan Mullen, I said I'd give them 2 to 3 years and they'll be in the conversation. Yeah. Last year, they were in the conversation.
They blew it.
They
last
had 3
year
losses.
At Texas A&M. Yeah. That was the biggest shock I got on a.
You can lose to Alabama, but you can't really lose to anybody else.
No, yeah, you can lose to Alabama, but if you take a loss to anybody else, but like they did at Texas A&M on the road, I think I got on a flight in Vegas at like 8 in the morning, and by the time I got off the flight, the Gators weren't ranked number 4 anymore. So. and my layover in Dallas was wild because everybody was going crazy.
So let's discuss something about the Florida Gators and UCF. When the old AD was here, allegedly it was brought up, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Now, it is happening. We will now have Florida and UCF face one another on the football field. Mm-hmm. And they will have the opportunity to finally have this series. It's a 3-game series. It's obviously going to put it, and now it's going to be in 2024, 2030, and 2033. The Gators will face the Knights in Gainesville in 2024 and in 2033. And in 2030, they will come to Orlando to the Bounce House and play them there. This was the alleged deal before with the old regime that was at UCF, the old AD and the old head coach, where allegedly they did not want a 2-1, 2 Gainesville, 1 Orlando. Well, Gus Malzahn comes in, you got a new AD as well, and about 5 minutes after they stepped through the door, this deal was found with Florida,
Yep.
that in 2024 and 2033, UCF will go to Gainesville, and the Gators will come to the Bounce House in 2030. What are your thoughts?
So, I mean, the first thought, and we're going to go ahead and drop the fact that UCF, because of how Danny White was with his way of scheduling, he did not want to do anything other than a 1-for-1 with the Gators or anybody else. And the way you have to look at this one is it's a one-off in 24, and then it's a 1-for-1 down the road. Because in 2024, Danny White had left the schedule empty.
Yeah.
So Terry Mahadra, the new athletic director, was faced with, do we play 11 games in 24?
Yeah.
Or do I call Scott Strickland over at Florida and see if he wants to work something out?
Yeah.
So it's a one-off in 24 because UCF didn't even have a game. They had no option other than if they were going to call a 1AA school to have another home game,
Yeah.
basically. So in 24, we get the matchup we've been wanting. I mean, to me, it really puts the UCF fan base especially on notice that we need to keep an eye on recruiting and who we're bringing in, because 3 years down the road, we're going to have the Gators on the schedule, and that's going to be one of the biggest games in the history of the state of Florida, I think.
Yeah.
Because of the interest in UCF and around this area. You've driven around this area this week. Everywhere you look, UCF tags.
Yeah.
Everywhere you look, including my car.
And Gus Malzahn coming from Auburn, knowing all about Florida.
Yeah.
And, and I would imagine him wanting to, obviously he's wanted to beat Florida for a very long time, being at Auburn, and now he definitely wants to kick their butt because he knows what it'll mean historically, as the Gators and the Knights have only faced off, believe it or not, twice in the history of college football, both in the state of Florida, one in Gainesville, one in Orlando, have only faced each other 2 times. Back in 1999, the Florida Gators won 58-27, and in 2006, when the Gators won a national championship, they beat the Knights 42-0. Both of those games were played in Gainesville. They've never played a game in Orlando, so only 2 games in history. So this will make 5 games overall, which is nothing. So it's historical that it's the first time since 2006 they'll be playing. And in 2030, it will be the first ever time that the Florida Gators have traveled to the Bounce House to face the Knights. So that's history upon history upon history. And you would think that historically Florida teams would play each other, but they really haven't.
No, they really haven't. And as for that game in 2030 at the Bounce House, whatever we're going to end up calling it.
Are they selling tickets now?
Literally, that's going to be a hot ticket in this town at 9 years from now. It's crazy to even think that far down the road. But
Yeah.
UCF unveiled yesterday their plans to build the stadium up to 60,000
Yeah.
in the next few years coming up. So it's definitely going to be an atmosphere unlike any other in the history of that stadium when that game finally does get played.
Gus Malzahn and the moves that are being made and the different things that are happening. What can you say about the evolution of a university that is in a place right now where they were building to become, and I believe they are now with the downtown campus, the largest, as far as overall surface area, the largest university in America? And so to be the largest university in America, bring in Gus Malzahn, and to have upgrades coming, what can you tell us about the buildings, the stadium, the upgrades? Because the school that has already essentially tried to blanket most of Orlando is still working on some things.
Yeah, I grew up with UCF going back to the 80s, and I went to games at the Florida Citrus Bowl, which was cool because you're playing in that 70,000 seat stadium, but if we had 20,000 people at a game, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s. Our largest crowd, I believe, was just a little over 31,000
Yeah.
back in those days. Now with the stadium that they built in 2007 there at the Bounce House, that place is sold out most games, 46,000. It's loud. It's one of the top 10 atmospheres in college football, depending upon who you ask.
Yeah.
Tough place to come play. The students are on both sides. Very noisy. Back in the day, the basketball team played in what was basically, it was a brand new arena, but we called it the Garage because it was small. It held around 4,000 people. It was small.
Yeah.
When it was packed, they could rock the place, and it was crazy.
Yeah.
But now what they play in the new addition Financial Arena, which is now, I think that's already 14 years old. it's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place to come play basketball.
Yeah.
State of the art. It's an NBA style arena. There's anything you want for loge boxes, private boxes, whatever you need there. It's one of the nicest arenas probably in all of college basketball, where UCF basketball, Johnny Dawkins and his guys get to lace them up every game.
Yeah.
And then the baseball stadium. The baseball stadium was on the other side of campus when I was a kid, and it was no bigger than my Little League stadium.
Yeah.
There was like one thing of bleachers behind the plate, and that was about it. There wasn't even anything really down the baselines or any of that. And if you got a foul ball, you could run it up and get pizza. I remember that from when I was a kid. But now, the stadium they have now, John Uliano Park, again, they've got the loge boxes and the private seating. The media is second to none, how they treat the media there. And they do have beer sales there now, too, which is a little different than they've ever had before.
Yeah.
So definitely the facilities that have gone up at UCF for sports and medicine and everything else that they have on that campus, it's pretty outrageous considering where they came from and how it used to be called a commuter school.
Yeah.
Now they have, I want to say it's top 5 in the country, how many dorms they have on campus. They had 0 as of the year 2000.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty crazy how fast it's happened, and really can't wait to see. I mean, they got the Lazy River coming. The stadium, like I said, is going to get an upgrade up to 60,000 in the next few years. They've got brand new places where they feed the players. The weight room is all redone. The room where they watch film is all redone.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. I mean, and it's why they're getting the caliber of athlete they're getting now.
Yeah, and I think Gus is only going to push for more.
Yeah.
Which is the big part of all of this, is seeing where we are moving here and how we're going forward. And I do want to make a note that at the Amway Center, which we had mentioned earlier, with Bethany, the Amway Center did have the Florida shootout between UCF and Florida, and I was on site covering that when Billy Donovan was the coach of Florida and UCF.
Donnie Jones, and we won.
And they won that game.
With help from son of Michael Jordan, Marcus.
Yeah.
Made one of the most ridiculous shots that looked just like his dad's spectacular move in that game.
So it was very, very cool to be at the Amway Center for Florida, UCF, see UCF win, knowing that now we have the opportunity to see UCF and Florida on the football field. Before UCF made the deal, South Florida made the deal, and that's coming very, very soon as South Florida is going to be facing off again, and they want to be called South Florida now. So looking at them going up and facing one another in the upcoming season and in general here, we're going to have the opportunity here on September 11th. We will see Florida and South Florida face off against one another, and they have this the home and home series that's coming up. And I'm excited for this. I'm excited for Jeff Scott because, he's somebody that has this connection with, obviously, Clemson, with Dabo Swinney. I got to interview him recently. That's going to be coming up next week, too, so you're going to be able to watch that and check that out. And I got to spend some time with him, which I'm very excited about. And I think that South Florida fans are excited because they have the opportunity to connect with somebody who has such clout as working for Dabo Swinney. We know Brent Venables has been there forever, and every year he's, it's kind of like Dabo's like, give him what he needs, give him what he wants. And with Jeff Scott coming over, I think South Florida, just hearing Clemson, makes them have some hope for the future.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I mentioned earlier with some of the recruits they brought in, because UCF was sleeping with Josh Heupel at the controls. UCF was sleeping on the local athletes, so they're able to bring in some of these talented kids that are from right here that are going to be playing at home there instead of UCF because of that.
Yeah.
So definitely, I mean, I think the road has been long for USF South Florida. It's been very long for them. They've had some terrible seasons. Last year they were 1-11 with the only win against Citadel. So definitely it can't get any worse for them. I do think that they will get better. I think they'll give UCF a heck of a game this year.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm looking forward to because I get to see, the guys I covered last season, like I said earlier. So the future's brighter at USF, South Florida. I've always called it USF.
Yeah.
So
they want to be rebranded as South Florida now,
South
which
Florida.
I don't know if it's because it's hard to say USF, or because they don't want to have one letter difference of their rival UCF.
When the fans get chanting it in the stadium, it just sounds like everybody's chanting UCF.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe because there's a few more always.
But it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot of verbs to say South Florida. It's a lot. No, I said verbs. It's a lot to South Florida.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't sound right. So
Right.
Go Bulls is probably what you're
And
going
they
to.
just do their little Texas Longhorns thing.
You gotta just say go Bulls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you got to be.
Yeah.
So in 2021, the Florida Gators will be at USF, South Florida, on September 11th. In 2022, the South Florida Bulls will travel to Gainesville to face off against Florida. And in 2025, they will go back to Gainesville once again on September 6th. So this is a situation where Florida goes, hey, we'll give you the first game, but then we get the next two. But it is cool because it's going to happen a lot sooner. We're going to get to see it this year, next year, and in 4 years from now.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta expect that the Ray J over there in Tampa is going to be packed with Gator fans, and it's going to be
When you're playing in Buck Stadium, so you can have a lot of fans there.
There's going to be a lot more orange and blue there than green and gold. I guarantee it. I would lay my house on that there would be probably closer to 50,000 Gator fans there, and maybe 15,000 USF, South Florida, whatever they want to be called, fans.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be an interesting thing, but I'm just happy that we get to see it. I'm happy that it's going to happen and that we get to be around it. So I'm very much looking forward to what is coming up here. And speaking on what's coming up, we have plenty more to talk about here with Jason, and we're going to be bringing Paige on in just a second after this fast break, and we're going to talk to her about opening doors in life right after this. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacted the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success at Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also, I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was, selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora here on site, on location, live from iDrive. If you've heard any bit, like low level, that the mic picked up of what we talked about with Paige off the air, can only imagine what's coming on the air with Paige, as Farron gave me the face, and I've gotten to know that face all week long. So Paige is here with us, and we are live from iDrive, 8801 International Drive. Florida in Focus has been our week here of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, bringing you into the college and NFL football seasons. Jason Lucas, my guest of the day today, and we've spoken with the Hooters girls all throughout here, and I may be biased, but I think the best ones are at iDrive. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. It's fair to say. I mean, we hosted the pageant. We had a great turnout. Everyone commended us on our great work and everything. So, I'd say so.
So Paige is here. I think our off-the-air conversation was the best. It's a lot of laughs. So we're going to talk about open doors first.
Okay.
So you left the door open to your house yesterday.
Yeah, I was leaving the house, and my two roommates is over there, one of them, and the other one's Riley. And I thought I closed the door. I heard it. We have an automatic lock, so I heard the lock go, and then I was just like, all right, on my way.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, you left the door open. I was like, oh, okay.
So you left the door open at what time?
It was 7. It wasn't super late at night.
Okay.
But they were asleep in their rooms.
So you left it open all night?
No, not all night, because they got up to close it.
So, okay. So somebody did get up. Somebody did see that it was open.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So of you, Riley, and who's your other?
Rachel.
Okay.
Right there.
So Rachel, Riley, and you. Mm-hmm. What is it like being in a house with the three of you?
Let's just say we should have a camera on us at all times, because it's never just calm in our house. It's always someone screaming, or there's just
random things going on all the time.
Do you joke fight or do you really fight?
Both.
Okay.
When people watch us, especially me and Rachel, we push each other, but it's joking, and other people are do you guys actually like each other? We're no, we love each other. We're best friends. This is just how we show our love for each other.
You just beat the heck out of each other.
Yeah, pretty much. It's okay. It's all love.
So, tell me something about Rachel that annoys you living with her.
Her good morning song. When she walks into my room, she's like, good morning, good morning. I'm like, can you leave? Why are you in my room?
So can we get her over here to sing it right now?
Rachel.
Can we?
Come here.
She doesn't look like she's doing anything. She can come over here and sing, right?
Yeah, she's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are, see, that live is live. This
live
is why,
live. Let's
that's
go.
why I do Wake Up Call live. So Rachel, we're talking about how Paige left your door open.
My front door?
I'm going to bring you over here so everybody can see you.
Okay.
So the front door was open last night?
Yeah, wide open.
Okay. And we also heard that you have an incredible good morning song.
Do I? I don't know.
Yes. Do you want to sing it?
No, not really.
Oh, no, you have to, though. That's why you came over.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just on repeat all day.
Very nice. So I asked Paige what the most annoying thing is that you do, and she said the good morning song.
It is very annoying.
So what is the most annoying thing that Paige does?
Everything.
Okay.
Shit, we'll be here all day.
She said that you guys also push each other, physically fight each other. Just did it now.
Yeah, very hateful-filled relationship that we
Okay.
have.
Why did you decide to room with someone that you hate so much?
Because that's fun.
Because it's
It's
fun.
so much fun.
I said we should have like a camera in our house to
Yeah,
watch like
no.
our interactions.
We would be locked away for a long time.
How does Riley fit into all this? What does she do that annoys you guys?
Her crystals.
Yeah.
Riley has like, she's really into crystals, so you'll walk into her room and she'll have her crystals all over her bed, and she'll be like, get out, your negative energy is ruining my crystals.
Yeah, you're not allowed to go by the crystals.
So she worships the crystals.
Yeah, that's like
Okay.
her thing.
So good morning song. Hers is everything. And then crystals. Okay. Who's cooking in the house?
Probably Riley.
Riley always cooks corn.
Riley, like, sure.
She makes
Corn on the cob shirt.
She makes corn like 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Why?
She just eats cans of corn.
She just loves it.
That's it.
That's like her thing.
So when I say who cooks, you're just saying she just heats up a can of corn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She cooks it like on the stove, you know, puts a little tahini in it.
Yeah, and when she cooks
Makes it look
like,
nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys cook?
No.
No.
Nothing.
No.
So where are you bringing food home from here? Or where are you eating?
No, I just
Yeah.
my boyfriend.
I know.
He's a good cook. He's Italian, so he knows how to cook.
So your boyfriend cooks, and where do you get food?
Uber.
Panda Express.
Yeah, I eat Panda Express 60 times a day.
I have never been to Panda Express.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
one
God.
in my
How
hometown
dare you.
closed.
How dare you?
The one in my hometown is gone. It's
Wow.
it's been ripped out. I didn't think it was going to make it.
It's
It's
the
a
best
Chipotle
hangover
now.
cure.
Panda
Yeah,
Express.
some orange chicken and rice.
So
And some lo mein.
speaking of orange chicken, I found out that Holly's cat's name is Orange Chicken.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's very on brand for
That's
Holly.
a Holly thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a Holly thing.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. So since I have you both here, what are 3 words to describe Paige?
We did this
Oh my God, no, this makes me
yesterday.
uncomfortable. We did this yesterday. This is enough.
Who did this yesterday?
We went to the beach yesterday and we're like, let's say nice things about each other. It took us a really long time.
Okay, so 3 things to describe. I didn't even say they had to be nice. Just 3 things to describe.
Get comfortable.
Better
being
watch
Okay, you
uncomfortable.
go first.
Yeah.
No, you go first.
I don't know.
Do they
You
have
got
to be
quiet over
Loud.
Everybody's listening.
Yeah, I gotta tread lightly. I told you.
Uh huh.
You've already been pushed in the face, and it was
Yeah.
on live. So,
Well, now I have physical evidence. So do it again.
so 3
I'm
words.
waiting.
Loud.
Say it louder for the people in the
impatient,
back.
Irritating. There's all
Loud, impatient, and irritating. Okay, Paige, describe Rachel.
Tread lightly.
You're so pretty. Your good morning song is always so nice. And you look like a beefsteak. You're dropping stuff.
Okay.
Pick it up.
This is how we show affection.
Did you guys meet here, or did you know each other before Hooters of I Drive?
We met here. So our other roommate, Riley, me and Riley were in the same sorority. So
Okay.
me and Riley met first, and then Riley started working here, and she was like, oh, like, you should come work here. So they were friends, and then I came, and then we all became friends.
Who, if there was a zombie apocalypse, who of the 3 of you would you trust to keep you alive?
Me. I don't put my trust in any of them.
Definitely not
She
Riley.
can't even close the front door, let alone keep us alive.
Well, yeah, the zombies would have been right in the house yesterday.
Definitely not Riley.
Okay.
Riley would armadillo and be
Yeah.
like, take me.
Yeah.
Just take me.
Honestly, at that point, I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to survive that. Just take me out.
Is that my time to go?
So fair
I've
enough.
lived a good
I
life.
don't think I'd make it very far.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us would.
I've lived a good life.
Okay, fair enough. What do you do in Orlando? Favorite thing to do in Orlando?
I don't know.
Just like go out.
Yeah,
There's
like
not
go
really
out.
much to do here.
There's not much.
There's not much to do in Orlando, Florida.
I think because we're so used to it, like we've done everything. I'm from Orlando, like I was born and raised here.
Oh, so
like,
you're one of 7 people.
like so I've done literally everything there is to do in Orlando. So like, it's whatever at this point.
Is there anything you haven't done? Have you done like indoor skydiving? Have you done the helicopter?
I've done indoor skydiving. I've done actual skydiving.
Okay.
Like,
Do the helicopter ride?
no, I haven't done that yet.
You've done SeaWorld?
Of course.
Obviously Universal, Disney.
Of course.
What else? Go-kart racing, mini golf. I'm trying to think. Have you done an event at the convention center?
Not much.
What about the convention
Yeah, I
center?
used to play competitive volleyball, so I was there all the time for
Okay.
like volleyball tournaments.
So you have done pretty much everything in Orlando.
Yeah.
Have you done everything in Orlando?
I've done a majority, but
Yeah,
not
a
much.
lot.
Not really anything on iDrive.
Nothing on iDrive. Okay.
Or like the stuff, like mini golfing or go-karting.
What is
Helicopter
the
ride.
one thing? It doesn't have to. It's not just Orlando. What's the one thing that you bought that you don't want to publicly say you spent a lot of money on? Rachel first.
Rocks. Crystals.
Crystal.
Yeah, I got trapped into the crystal
Crystals.
store and I spent $60 on rocks.
So where are your rocks? Are they in Riley's?
Did you bring any
room?
today?
Riley's charging them today.
She's charging them.
They charge in the moon.
They charge in the moon. Oh
And
my.
her dog peed on them one time, and she was
yeah.
charging them.
Don't tell Riley that.
Well, it's live,
She
so
answered your question.
yeah, she did. So what have you wasted money on?
I don't know.
It's got to be something
Wait, what was the question again?
that you've wasted money on. Something that you're like, I can't believe I spent that much money on this.
Drinking.
Drinking.
Yeah.
Just drinking.
Yeah.
How much money have you spent in one night drinking? I want to know because I used to work at Disney with girls from Brazil who would spend an entire paycheck in like a day and a half.
Well, are you drinking at Disney?
No,
You drink at
no,
Disney.
they
Yeah,
had,
Disney's
paycheck,
expensive.
they worked
Yeah.
81 hours and had spent the money by like Saturday afternoon when they got paid on Friday.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But were they drinking like PBRs or?
One of the girls,
No
we
one
saw her, we
else has
waved to
ever
her, and then she.
Yeah.
VR.
So yeah. So how much?
I don't know.
How much did you
For,
spend
well,
last
for
night?
girls, it's not a lot. You tend not to pay for everything.
Right, they're not
Yeah.
paying for drinks. Like,
Yeah, that's true. So okay, I'm gonna ask this
Yeah,
on the air.
I was like,
So
Their
you
money.
talked about your boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
So will you when you are dating someone, will you let guys buy you drinks, not telling them that you have a boyfriend, just to accept the drinks?
No, I tell my boyfriend, and then he's like, "All right, go get me one too."
yeah.
He's
He's
a
like,
smart man.
put in the work.
your
He's a
cousin.
smart
Put
man.
in the work, and he's like, "Bring me back a shot." I'm like, "Okay."
What a smart man.
I know.
What about you?
Oh, yeah, same thing.
So you'll let them buy and then just go thank you and walk out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
are they
that's
gonna
smart. I like the whole get me one too though. I like
Yeah.
the boyfriend taking advantage of the situation.
That's why I
That
have
means
you
he's
here.
smart.
That's
He's
very
educated.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you go out there, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, wave, smile, and
Is
get
he
us a couple
watching?
He's
drinks.
like, "Yeah,
How
go
smart
get
he
a
is?
couple drinks."
Has anybody ever come up to you and said, "Why did you give that shot to that guy"?
I don't think someone wants to come up to me. I feel like I
Yeah.
look very intimidating.
She's scary.
Who is more intimidating, her or Riley?
Oh, definitely
me.
her.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
without
always
a
say
doubt,
out of our
yeah.
friend group, like, everyone would lose in a fight to me.
Yeah. She's so aggressive. She's such an angry individual.
I mean, she's pushed your face multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, I
See what
know.
I deal with?
And you're standing
Yeah.
close to a wall, like.
I know.
Yeah. So,
She's fine. She'll be fine.
So the final part of our conversation here with Paige and Rachel, here from live from my drive wake up call with Dan Tortora on site in Orlando, I do a thing called rapid fire, which allows my guests to question us. So you
Questions.
both can ask Jason one question and me one question. Rachel, with Jason first, ask him anything you want.
I don't know. What's the most outrageous thing you did, Trump?
Oh, we're going right into it on video and audio. Right?
Most outrageous thing I've done drunk. Wow. I'm gonna.
Family show.
Yeah, I'm like, where do I go here? Vegas drunk or New Orleans drunk or?
Oh, Vegas.
Nola is
No,
crazy.
yeah,
Okay,
Nola
so-
is.
Oh, we have a Vegas story.
Okay.
Nola story.
Oh, this is cool. We got a message in here. Please don't tell me Paige is the hostess at Hooters of I Drive.
No.
Yeah. So I think that's because of your abrasiveness. Maybe he was afraid to come in. I will say that Paige was with us for the entire fantasy draft, and you were nice to all of us.
Yeah.
I'm a nice person.
Yeah, you were fine with all of us.
Yeah.
We never saw your
awesome.
violence until today.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Yeah. So what's the craziest thing you've done drunk, Jason?
Oh, dang it. I thought we were going to get off.
No.
No.
I would say, and just to keep it clean, so I used to work for a pro football team that was here in Orlando. We went to New Orleans to play the team from New Orleans, and I had hand grenades.
Oh,
and-
the hand grenades getcha.
And there's this restaurant there that has like red gator and green gator. Had those. Then they have those Jello shots that are actual like injections.
Oh yeah, those are fun.
So there's a picture of me standing on Bourbon Street with the injections, with the hand grenade, and with my other cup, and like
Just
I
everything.
am white as a ghost that night. And we end up going to a live sex show.
Wow.
I can only imagine how that is in NOLA.
So
Yeah.
and that's for family show. That's as far as I
Okay,
can go with
fair
the
enough.
story.
That's,
Cool.
that's a great story.
Wild with that.
All right, Rachel, what's your question for me?
Am I supposed to be thinking of questions?
Okay, wait, hold on. Paige, go. Run back.
Okay.
My turn?
Yeah, I gotta
My question?
So you can ask.
You or Jason?
Go ahead and ask Jason. I'll take the last two. This has been very interesting here, Farron.
Who do you like better, me or Rachel?
I like that you're getting these questions. Love it.
Let me go with the tiebreaker. You said you have a boyfriend. Do you not? Rachel then. Rachel.
Smart. That's smart.
Oh, it's number 2.
But you were awesome serving us the other night.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, Rachel, what's my question?
What is your least favorite thing about Paige?
Oh my god.
Boom.
Here, I'll name one. I'm just kidding.
My least favorite thing about Paige.
Yeah, you wanna come?
I would say that as the host of the fantasy draft and being here all week, she spoke to me the least during the fantasy draft.
Well, you were busy.
Yeah.
You were like, all right, guys,
Yeah.
who we
Yeah.
picking?
Yeah.
Who we
She's Miss
picking?
Bougie. She's like,
Yeah,
oh,
she was very bougie that day.
You guys were like, who we picking? So I don't want to be like, sir, are you okay? You need to stop this whole thing. I need to ask you a
Taking
question.
care of me.
I know. We had a great time.
Nice to everybody else. Yeah.
I was not mean. First of all, we already went over this conversation. Already had this conversation.
no violence
Thank
till
you.
today.
No, I honestly don't have anything bad to say about Paige. She's been very nice to me.
What's your favorite thing about her?
My favorite thing about
Yeah.
Paige? I would say her facial cues that I don't know Paige that well, but I've read her face a few times and it's made me laugh this morning. So I'm going to say that I can appreciate the fact that I kind of
everything
reading.
is on the face.
Yeah, I can
there's
read
no
it and
hiding.
it's made me laugh a couple times. So I'll say that.
And she's like Frozen. Love is an open door.
Oh, yeah. All right, Paige, what's your question for me?
Oh my god, I don't even know. I should have been thinking about this.
Is this a nervous twitch that she does?
Yeah. I got
rubber
anxiety. My gosh. That's my disorder. Jeez.
Why don't we get a crystal to calm you down?
Listen, I could use one right now. Oh my god, I don't know.
Riley's gonna kill us. When she
I know, Riley is literally gonna kill us.
Just don't. I'm going to send you guys this link, but don't send it to her.
Yeah, no.
it.
No.
It'll only be
gonna
with.
send it to her.
What?
I'm definitely gonna send that
Oh,
to her.
great.
I can't
Thanks,
wait for her
Rachel.
to see that.
I think Rachel's with my second choice now because I just heard that.
Let's see. I don't know what's the question.
Literally anything in the world.
I know, but like
where are you
anytime I
from
get asked a
originally?
question,
Where I am from Syracuse, New York.
So,
do you like Florida
what's like
better?
the major difference between Florida and New York?
Yeah.
Like, what is something that
Everything.
you just like?
6 inches of, or
I was
six
gonna say,
six
don't-
months of
no,
snow.
Outside of the weather. Don't
Like
say the weather.
6 months
Yeah.
of snow. The biggest
Are the
difference.
people nicer here
I would say that.
besides Rachel?
I would
Like-
say that I think that. I don't know if I should say this on the air. I think women are nicer in Florida than up in New York. I don't know why
Yeah, I
they're
can see
they're
that.
meaner up. Like I don't know if it's the snow.
I feel like it's
But they get they're like I don't know. It's just different.
when I'm
Never
I'm
getting a
just
girl
Yeah,
in
I'm
New
just
York
miserable.
again. Never
What?
getting a girl in New York again.
That's fine.
That-
I don't need it. But so I've retired. But
Retired.
I would say that no. I think the biggest difference between the two is Disney to me is a huge part of my life, and I got to work there, and I get to do a show for that now. So that's something that obviously, like, I can leave here and just go to Disney
Yeah.
for the day. And so, in Syracuse, obviously it's different. But I love my hometown. I love all the teams. I love everything I get to do. But I think I've already, I think the weather's
Already closed that chapter of your life.
It's Santa's armpit. I mean, it's 6 months of snow. So it's tough.
I'm getting ready to have a guest room if you want to come down here anytime. Like, I'm getting ready to have
Jason's going to have his place. But yeah, I love Orlando. It's his second home, and I'll leave it at that. I'll take myself off the hot seat. So thank you, Rachel.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Paige.
Of course.
The face again. So
I didn't do anything. I'm just vibing. I'm just out here living my life.
All I know is that I want to go out when y'all go out.
Everyone says that. Everyone says that.
I'm going to tell you why.
What you buying?
No, I'm going to tell you why. I want to go out when y'all go out because I want to be hanging out and be like, Paige, go say hi to that guy over there and get 4 shots. That's what I'm thinking.
Everyone always says they want to not go out with us, but they just want to be out and watch us all interact with each other.
I think it would be fun to see the three of you interact in the house together. I want to see the house life, and I want to see the crystal life too.
You're gonna spend a crazy amount of money on rocks.
Yeah.
That's a you problem though. Why did you spend the money?
Oh, I got trapped in there because it was a good deal. I can't beat a good deal.
You can't beat a good deal?
On rocks.
5 rocks for $10. There was a sale on rocks. And they're charged, and when they got peed on by the dog, did they become more powerful?
I guess so.
Okay.
Morphed into power.
Fair enough.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Paige.
Of course, y'all.
Appreciate it.
No worries. I'll get out of here.
We're going to take a step aside for a fast break. I think we need a minute.
Good Lord, yes.
We'll be back right after this with plenty more coming up on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live from iDrive. And, a lot was said. A lot was said there.
Yeah.
But, I don't know what it is about my home. I love my hometown. But as I told my mother, I was like, wifey ain't up here. She's not up here. So.
No, and hi.
Hi,
Mom. Hi, Mom.
Oh, hi. Yeah, no, my mom's the best.
She was watching earlier, I know. So.
Yeah, so hi to Mom. We'll take a step aside on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live from iDrive, 8801 International Drive. We'll talk with y'all very, very soon, right after this fast break, where sports meets that thing called life. And we appreciate you being here. Come out and see us and come out and see the girls. 8801 International Drive here 7 days a week at Hooters in Orlando.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the Whole Frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpazsnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you download their app on the Google Play or Apple App Store, and you will have everything at your fingertips, from their homemade breads and desserts to their quinoa bowls, rice bowls, salads, brick oven pizzas, and sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski. Ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds, the app will have contactless pay and everything you need, including directions on the app itself from wherever you are to get you right to the Millhouse Market on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. Worth the drive every time. Avicoli is located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, is our home for our Liverpool Warriors monthly exclusive sit-down broadcast featuring the student athletes, the coaches, and the administration of Liverpool High School. Make sure you make your way out there Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks at Avicoli's. And, of course, you can get in touch with them at 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering, as well as myavicolis.com. Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Campground Dog Boarding needs one endorsement and one only, and they got it from Lily. Canine Camp Dog Daycare on 228 Old Bridge Street and the campground on 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse are there for you for the extended family care of your furry-loving friends. The daycare can be called at 315-437-7110 to make an appointment. And, of course, the campground for longer-term care at 315-299-4013. PB&J's Lunchbox, located on 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York, is minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Onondaga Lake Parkway, and Destiny USA. They're that food truck that you've been chasing around Central and upstate New York, and now you can get to them in their Streetside Cafe, open Monday through Saturday, with the award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich and so much more. Right there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Go ahead and find your way to PB&J's Lunchbox, an eclectic group of traditional food as well as some out-of-the-box, truly amazing concoctions that I can only say to Pat, thank you that your brain thinks of all of these amazing ways to make our taste buds dance every single week in Liverpool, New York, and beyond. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, located on 791 West Genesee Street in Skinny Atlas, New York, is minutes from beautiful Skinny Atlas Lake, and they will treat injuries from head to toe. I've been there for almost a decade, and I've trusted Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics to help me out, whatever it may be for you, for preventative care, rehab, as well as physical therapy and surgery. Dr. Mark Petropoli and his team do something that so many doctors do not do, and that is to care, to listen, and to walk you through the process. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is literally the place that I would tell you to go to for any injury because of the fact of their attention to detail, how much they care about you, and wanting to see every single person find their way to victory. Call them now at 315-685-7544. That's 315-685-7544 today to set your appointment. We are back here inside of the beautiful, the awesome, the amazing, the incredible Hooters of I Drive. And Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora in Florida in Focus Week, hanging out here with you on 8801 International Drive, bringing you into the college football and NFL seasons. I have had a fantastic week. We have talked to fantastic people, and I continue to have more awesome stuff kind of just come up and happen and evolve, like having Paige on, and then Rachel joins, and we had our first tandem broadcast, which was really cool. So, Jason, you've definitely, all week long, we've had awesome conversations with the girls, but I can honestly tell you today that we've had unique ones, different from any other day, and so every day has been different in the best ways.
Yeah, I'm all about making people uncomfortable, so.
and those girls.
I saw her
very
sitting over
much-
there. I'm like, we got to get her over here to sing.
Yeah, and the thing is, they've made each other comfortably uncomfortable today, which is kind of cool to be able to do that. So as we get you ready for the football season, the Miami Dolphins, your thoughts on your Dolphins as they get ready to kick off? Is Tua Tagovailoa the real deal? Is Myles Gaskin worth running it through? And Salvin Ahmed, is it going to be a two-headed monster? Will Devontae Parker ever show up? Those are all the questions. And would you make a phone call to Jarvis Landry right now? I guess there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I would always make a call to Juice because that was my boy when he was in Miami. I loved watching Jarvis Landry play for my team because he played hard, and you could tell, like, when we'd get behind, he'd get pissed off and all of a sudden be running people over, too. So,
yeah.
But, yeah, man, Tua, I think Tua looks like he's a lot more in control of the offense this year. I think that he, with a full off season to heal his hip and get everything ready for this season, looks a lot better. The first preseason game, he did make a bad read in the red zone, threw an interception that has been talked about ad nauseum this week.
Yeah.
Kind of tired of talking about it and seeing it. Looking forward to the preseason game tomorrow night against the Falcons to see, has he cleaned that up? Is he gonna clean it up inside the red zone? Especially, you got to be able to hit those routes inside the red zone when it's tight spaces. Receiver-wise, would love to see Devontae Parker show up. Jalen Waddle's shown a lot in the preseason and camp. A lot of just...
Well, you drafted him in our fantasy draft, and
I did.
you showed the video of how he made that one move and cut the guy right off. So
he's a hell of an athlete, and I tell you, having somebody like him on the field is going to make the defense, every time he goes in motion, the defense is going to be paying attention to where he's going and trying to anticipate, is he going inside, outside, is he going deeper, are they just throwing a screen to him, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a huge threat for them this season. Running back wise, I do like Gaskin. I think Gaskin's great. Ahmed brings things to the table that really helped the team last season when the offense was kind of dormant.
Yeah.
So they should be a much improved product from even a team that won 10 games last season. They really could have a chance to take on Buffalo and even have a shot to win the AFC East this season.
You know, and it's going to be interesting. We did our show, Mike Sofka and I predicted, we didn't just predict divisional champions. We predicted 1 through 4 order of finish for every one of the 8 divisions. And so I have Buffalo at the top of the AFC East.
Everybody does.
I actually put New England second because I don't think that, I mean, I always say hell hath no fury like a Belichick scorned. All the money he spent in free agency, bringing in Mac Jones, doing all this stuff, guys coming back. They had more guys that decided not to play last year due to COVID. I think they had like 7 to 9 guys that didn't play. So I think the Patriots are really, I mean, I know Belichick's got to be pissed.
Yeah.
So, and that's a horrible situation for anybody to be in the NFL against him. And then I have Miami, and then, of course, I have the lowly Jets. So, right? But I do think that Miami could win some games this year, do some good things, make some moves. I want to see Tua stay healthy. I want to see him attack, and I want to watch Tua excite South Beach, and I want to watch Tua really get people energized because he's one of the guys. I like his story. I love his faith. I love his family connection. I love his connection to Hawaii. It means a lot to me with Kenya Matalolo and everybody. So there's everything about me wants to see Tua succeed.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see Miami rise to number 2 if they can get there in the AFC East.
Yeah, I mean, totally the thing about Dolphin fan base. We're a jaded group. It's been a long time since we've even seen the playoffs. It's been already 5 years since a playoff run.
Yeah.
And then before that, I think it was all the way back to like 07 or 05. It had been a very long time. So the success just hasn't been there. It's been a team that's been 500 almost every season, or they've been really terrible at 1-15 a few years back.
Yeah.
So It's just, I don't think they're going to be that this year. I think definitely they're going to have a shot to make the playoffs this season with that extra game as well. They got to travel and play your boys over there in London.
Yeah.
So they're going to be playing the Jaguars over there in London. So it should be very interesting to see how things unfold. If the team's able to stay healthy, though, that defense is great. It was great last season. Obviously, getting Xavier Howard to stay with the team this season, even though he had requested a trade, they were able to get him to stay. That was a big deal there. You bring in a guy like Shaquem Griffin on that defense, another pass rusher, another linebacker that's a hard hitter. They definitely are going to have a great defense this season, and that it's really, they'll go as far as that will carry them, because if the offense really gets it going, they're going to be tough to beat.
Malcolm Brown, running back, coming onto the team after sharing a three-headed monster with the LA Rams with Darrell Henderson and Cam Akers. Thoughts on Malcolm Brown coming in? Does he fit anywhere in the backfield? And thoughts on Will Fuller V, who, healthy, is a fantasy nightmare when you're playing against him, but has, really, honestly, not ever had a season where he's been healthy the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, really for that offense and for Tua, for the number one thing that everybody talks about is the struggle of the offensive line in that first game against Chicago. Everybody's kind of nervous about how the offensive line is going to be. No matter who's back there, they've got to have a running game.
Yeah.
They've got to have a running game to take that pressure off of Tua so that he's not constantly under pressure trying to make plays with his feet. Will Fuller's another guy, obviously a talent that can get things done down the field, and they need that downfield threat. So, and to open up things, if they want to run Waddle short and let Waddle run like he did at Alabama, where they just ran him slant routes, and if you take somebody deep, take that safety deep, it's too late if you throw it short. So, and then if the guy comes down, you throw it over him to Fuller. So definitely those threats are going to help the offense and open things up to where they're able to make some plays down the field, but also maybe not have to go so deep down the field every time either.
Yeah, and seeing that they have Will Fuller V coming in from Houston, Jalen Waddle, who they drafted to bring back with Tua of Alabama, and on top of all of that, to have Preston Williams, who has had to fill in at times, Jakeem Grant, Alan Hearns, my guy who came over from Jacksonville, Malcolm Perry, former quarterback of Navy. So to see all of that coming in, not all these guys, Kyle Loxley, not everybody's going to make the team.
Right.
But is there enough in the receiver corps?
I think totally, I didn't even mention Mike Gesicki, the tight end. He's going to be one of the best tight ends in the league this season,
Yeah.
I think.
And Durham Smythe stepped up last year when he had to.
And you feel like the Dolphins, when they really get it going, it's when they're using the tight ends. It's when Mike Gesicki's making plays. But then you've got a guy like Mac Hollins on the outside that looks like a tight end and can make plays down the field as well. I mean, it's really it's a deep room now, the receiver room, as well as the tight end room. It's really going to be crazy to see who steps up, who the guys are, and how good this offense can really be.
Yeah. And Mac Hollins I covered at North Carolina, so I think it's great to see him here, and hopefully he'll be able to do some good things and move forward in a positive way. Final notes here live from iDrive, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, on site, on location, all week long here with you for Florida in Focus, bringing you in to the college football and NFL seasons on 8801 International Drive in Orlando, Florida. Name, image, and likeness. We've discussed some things before.
Yeah.
More questions than answers. And as days go on, more questions and more questions and more questions than answers. But what do you think about name, image, and likeness at this point?
I think it's doing great things so far. Obviously, Dylan Gabriel with UCF has his DG, the brand, going.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Milton, my guy up at Florida State, who I'm actually going to see on opening night against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Going up there to see that. But he's got his deal going. He was just here a couple weeks ago signing autographs at an event where obviously he was able to use his name, image, and likeness.
Yeah.
And get a paycheck out of it. So that's awesome. What school was it out west that they're helping the walk-ons? Was it BYU or Utah? One of those. They're actually a company is paying for the walk-ons to go to school.
Well, and that's
great.
Right, and there's
using
beauty,
it right.
There's beauty that can come from this, and I think once the offensive linemen start making some money and we start seeing stuff like that, like I'm excited, and I know that some guys were talking about like I'm trying to pave the way for me, but like open the door for like package deal, like I want to help out the linemen. I like I don't want to just get a deal individually. I want to bring on my lineman. I want to bring on this guy. Like, I want to do it together.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of coolness in that. And then going to ACC kickoff, and then Mackenzie Milton of FSU and De'Ara King of Miami working together. And they started a company to try and help fellow student athletes understand how to use name, image, and likeness. So this is something that's obviously been on their mind for a while. And, it's like, how cool is that they're essentially players, but they're also agents for other players, and they're paying it forward immediately, which is cool. We got a message that came in here. Dolphins certainly have weapons and talent on both sides of the ball. Tua will have to play a huge role in the possible success of the team.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Tua is going to be the key cog in the offense. How he goes is how that offense is going to go. If he's able to deliver the ball on time, go through his reads, see where it's got to go, see who's open, and deliver on time.
Yeah.
And that's going to be huge, because if the offensive line isn't great, you're going to have to be able to get that ball out fast. That Tom Brady hey, take the snap in 2-3 steps and it's got to come out.
Yeah.
So hopefully they get the offensive line shored up. The number one thing with an offensive line, you got to have 5 cohesive guys that play together.
Yeah.
I think that's the number one thing is communication up front of the offensive line, picking up the blitzes, having watched your film throughout the week and knowing where the blitz is going to be coming from is the number one thing in any league, the NFL especially, though, because it's so intricate with what those coordinators are trying to do defensively to confuse an offensive line. So you need 5 guys to stay healthy and play together, and that's going to be the number one thing, is protecting him back there, because he's not 100% yet. He's going to get there hopefully by next season he'll be 100%.
Yeah.
But he already showed in that first game against Chicago he can move his feet, he can get outside if he needs to and make plays, but they don't need him to do that all the time. Hopefully they can protect him good enough so he doesn't have to live and die on his feet.
Well, and you got a bunch of running backs, so dump it off and protect your quarterback, protect your diamond, protect your crystal.
That's where the money's at,
I
baby.
guess. But final part here, we have done rapid fire before on the show. It could be about sports, about anything. We're rounding out our Florida in Focus week here live from iDrive at Hooters, being on site on location with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. So I think it's only fair to round it out with some fun. And Jason and I have no idea what we're going to say or what it's going to be about.
We never do.
3 questions apiece. So you can ask me 3, I'll ask you 3.
All right.
You can start.
What is your favorite attraction on iDrive?
Favorite attraction on iDrive? I would have to say, I like the Ferris wheel lit up. I think it's cool. I like the whole Eye of Orlando. Really, I like iDrive. And because it's so long, there's so much on it. It's like Erie Boulevard in Syracuse, like on steroids. And the beauty of iDrive Orlando, and I want to thank them, their Instagram for iDrive Orlando that promotes everything on iDrive is following Wake Up Call at Wake Up Call _DT on Instagram. So thank you for that. I love being here, and again, I'm not saying it because I'm here. I love working with Tim Baum. I've gotten to meet Jeff and Farron through this, and Jordan, and it's been incredible. The girls have been great.
Yeah.
And the whole experience here, I love the layout. I remember when I walked in here in February and met Tim here, we were sitting at the bar. As soon as I walked in and saw him and just took a quick look, I went, I've never seen a Hooters like this before.
No,
I love the look of this place.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, yeah, I mean, I really love working with Hooters. I love this opportunity, and I could see myself waking up, a lot of mornings and coming in here and this being my office for a couple hours. So,
nothing wrong with that. I think this is your favorite attraction right here.
It's been great.
Well,
I'll ask you. We'll go back.
You're gonna ask me.
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Give you a break, sir. What is your favorite thing about living in Florida?
My favorite thing about living here, wow. It's hard because I'm not a fan of how hot it is here.
Yeah.
Especially as I'm getting older. It's not my favorite. Like yesterday, I was outside working in the yard and I probably lost 10 pounds.
Okay.
So that's not it. I'm not a big go to the beach guy, so that's not it. I enjoy going to my sports games, and I'll say this about the weather: at least it's nice more than it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, a favorite thing about being here?
Yeah.
variety of restaurants. There's a variety of restaurants to go to in Florida where you can, and for me, where I live, I can be 45 minutes here to see you at Disney.
Yeah.
And same thing, go to Magic games or UCF games are right around the corner. I just like following my teams. I think that's my favorite thing about being here, like specifically in Orlando, because when I lived in Naples, I had to drive 3 hours to get here and see them, and then my God, if they lost, the drive home was just like leaving a road game. So
yeah. 3 NFL teams, NBA teams, Major League Baseball teams, high schools, the entire nation recruiting the prep schools and the high schools down
I do love
here.
that, yeah.
So there's always something to do, and in the sports world, there's a billion teams. So shout out to all that, soccer as well. What's your next one for me?
So I was going to say let's go reprise something we used to do all the time, the On the Prowl.
Okay.
Tell me what you expect to see from Trevor Lawrence in year one. What's a realistic goal for him and the Jaguars this season?
I think for me, realistically, is 8-9. Now that there's a 17th game in 18 weeks,
right.
I see the team going 8-9. I do believe that they can be second behind the Titans. I think that Houston is in a strange situation with Deshaun. I think the Colts are already in a bad situation. So at quarterback, so you know, for me, I think Jacksonville could go 8-9. On the Prowl will be back this season, and this will be my 11th year of covering the Jaguars on site, God willing, in some capacity. So by the grace of God, and the incredible people over there. So I would say my expectation of Trevor Lawrence is that he will continue to win. He'll continue to do some positive things. And shout out to Sam over here too. Much love to Sam. So, and I really do. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to be one of the teams that makes a healthy jump. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be good. I'm concerned about the line.
Yeah.
After this year, there's no way that these 5 guys can stay. Definitely not all of them. Brandon Linder at center has been there forever. A.J. Can forever at right guard. At left guard, Andrew Norwell a couple years ago spent a lot of money to take him from Carolina. And then the bookends that they drafted, Cam Robinson from Alabama, who's franchise tagged on the left, and on the right, Juwan Taylor in Florida. It hasn't worked. And if it doesn't work this year, and if Trevor's got to run and Trevor gets hit a lot, then we're going to be in a position where I would imagine Urban Meyer's going to be looking for a whole new line.
Yeah, no doubt.
My second question for you, Jay Bird, is what is your favorite memory of our friendship?
Oh, man. It's got to be laying on the field at Florida Tuskers practice. We talk about that one sometimes, just, you know,
it was
when
so
we were getting
hot.
to know each other, and it was so hot. It's just, you know.
We literally laid down on the field on the sideline, side by side, and you could see the steam coming off the turf, and we just talked about life.
Yeah. I mean, us just being able to bullshit through the years, man. We've definitely seen each other go through a lot of struggles.
Oh yeah. We've both seen each other shake hands with the devil for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely that. We've been through a lot in our friendship, man, and I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for it because you're always there, and I always try to be there for you, and it's good. It's good. But yeah, those days with the Tuskers, man, I wish sometimes we could go back much simpler times and easier times, and I didn't need as much money in my life, so I could do a role like that and not expect to make a lot of money.
Yeah, you know,
but travel the world at the same time.
Yeah, and I miss those days too. There was so much that I took from it, and it truly is. I mean, I believe in all the redheaded stepchildren, and because I am one.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, covering the Tuskers is one of the greatest things that I ever did, and so many people didn't cover them, and they're United Football, and it's not the NFL. And I met John Gruden, Jay Gruden, Doug Flutie, Brooks Bollinger, my man Benny. I met Avion Kaysen. I met Ike Hilliard.
Yeah.
Joe Theismann. So I would say Dan Pearson.
Yeah.
So I would have to give a big time shout out to everything that the Tuskers brought me, including a brother who proudly made me an uncle. You know, Jason is not only a friend, he's made me a brother, and to Gracie and Carly and to Carter, I am Uncle Dan, and that's one of the deepest honors of my life. So, yeah, I think we can only look forward, move forward, and focus forward.
Absolutely.
What's your last one for me?
So you have traveled and been to a lot of stadiums, NFL stadiums, college stadiums.
Yeah.
What is your favorite destination to go, even if you're just going as a fan to see a ball game? What's your favorite place to go?
Well, I love the Dome in Syracuse.
But I'm talking about traveling.
I know.
Not that.
But I have to say, I feel very spoiled that it's in my backyard.
Yeah.
I really feel spoiled. I would say, travel-wise, I mean, there's something about parking and walking up and looking at the stadium and saying, my favorite team, I get to cover. I get to go in the locker room. I get to interview them. I get to sit in the press box. Every time I walk up to Jacksonville's stadium for the Jaguars, it is a constant reminder that God is good. Hard work pays off. My life is incredible. I have nothing to complain about. I am honored. I'm privileged. I am blessed. And every time I go to the Jacksonville Stadium, I'm just reminded how great life is. So I would have to say TIAA Bank Field, a.k.a. Jacksonville Municipal Stadium, a.k.a. Everbank Field. And there's
a game on right now.
literally on the TV as I talk about it with God's awesome, incredible humor and a big-time run back here. So, yeah, I mean, Jacksonville is, I don't know. I never thought that anything could, equal the Dome. And going to see my Jaguars play is one of the greatest gifts that I've ever had in my life.
Awesome.
My last question for you is, of all the places you've lived, where have you enjoyed the most and why?
I mean, I was only there for a year, but I always talk about Vegas and being able to live there for the year I was there and be able to experience Mount Charleston, which not a lot of people know about. It's only 30 minutes outside of town, but you get to go see snow and mountains, and it's just so beautiful and peaceful and nice there. Vegas is definitely my favorite of any. I've lived in Sanford, I've lived in Deltona, I've lived in Altamont Springs, I've lived in Naples, all different places in Florida, but there's nothing like being somewhere where the weather only sucks for 3 months out of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get through the summer in Vegas, you get to about that second or third week of September, and it really cools down, and it's nice, and you can go to a ball game there, whether the new stadium. I mean, they can have the roof open there.
Yeah.
Probably their second or third home game, they can really just have the roof open and not even worry about it, because there's really almost no rain there, and it's always pretty mild beyond that third week of September. So definitely, when I get the chance, I'll be moving back to Vegas. I'll be much older when my kids are graduated high school and in college at the very least.
That coming from Jason here, Jason Lucas, in the PR and media world. A big shout out to one of my biggest supporters. Was a stranger a year ago and now plays in our fantasy league up in Central New York in Syracuse at the Wildcat. Greg said, great content today,
Thanks,
gentlemen.
Greg.
Amazing shows all week, DT, and very entertaining. Hard work certainly paid off. I wish you both the very best of weekends. I'm going to get choked up if I stay on the air, but 11 years ago, came into Hooters and sat with Tim, and I worked for 3 months to get them to let me run their fantasy football, which they had no connection to at the time.
Wow.
And they let me do it, and he gave me the opportunity. He wrote me a testimonial that would stand as the best of the best with anybody. And now 11 years later, and through a pandemic, we met, and we've been working on a plan. And so to be here live from my drive for Florida in Focus Week, for this to be my second home, for a thing I uttered in 2009 on ESPN Radio 1080 The Team, which was Florida in Focus, to be here 12 years later. I have some of my closest friends here. I have my family here. I have my nieces here. I have such a life here. I literally feel like I live in two places, in Florida and New York. I am honored by Hooters. I'm honored by Sam and Tim and Jeff and Farron. The girls here have been wonderful. I love that I got to tell their stories. I hope that, bringing such a unique and beautiful angle to them does well for iDrive and for everybody. I want to thank Me3 for all the digital stuff we've done on social media together through Hooters I Drive. I want to thank Julia and Michaela, and I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my grandparents. I want to thank God. I want to thank Evan for everything he did to make stuff possible. I feel that I want to thank everybody from our fantasy league. I want to thank. I'm gonna do these off the cuff here. I want to thank Eric, Jason, Trey, Mike, Lisa, Rick, as well as Mark, Stefan, Nick, and I'm missing one person. Who am I missing in my brain?
Thank yourself.
I'll thank myself. There you go. There it is. So, but yeah, I said when I left ESPN Radio down here that I'm going to stay committed to the people that supported me and all my listeners and my fantasy players, and I have never once lost touch, and I've never not felt the love from the state of Florida. So I would be happy to come back to Hooters if I drive. I'm very emotional today. Hard work does pay off, so don't ever not believe in yourself. And the devil has tested me many times, and I now get super, super pumped up in my chest to pick up that sword every time that battle comes. So live your lives to the fullest. Be safe, be happy, be well, love your friends, let go of your past, be good to the future, always keep the door open for new opportunities. As much as I say that I retire, you never know what life's going to bring you. And be happy, have fun, and know that Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is... I'm almost 18 years doing this, and I have barely shown you what you're about to see next.
It's an exciting time, buddy.
Love you, brother.
Thanks, man. Love you too.
Jason Lucas, Mike Sofka, Papa Joe, Rick Etienne, Nate Trout, thank you all for making this week what it's been. Thank you to all the girls. I want to make sure I get everybody here. So I want to give a big shout out. I can't miss a single name here. Bethany, Josephina, Rosita, Crystal, Rachel, Paige. I also want to give a thanks to Ashlyn, Jordan, Macy, Savannah, Portia, Holly, Alex, and Kalaya, who all joined us this week. You can meet your Hooters of iDrive by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt and facebook.com/wakeupcalldt and Twitter @CallDT. The videos are all there. They're all on YouTube, and they will be featured on wakeupcalldt.com. The video with Jason and all of my 4 special guests this week are on the homepage of wakeupcalldt.com, so you can watch those very easily by going to wakeupcalldt.com. I want to thank you all. I want to tell you once again to find us on Stitcher, Spotify, TuneIn, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeart, and Podbean by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Thank you to our Central and Upstate New York partners that are with me all year round: Cafe Cabal, Carvel DeWitt, Wildcat Sports Pub, Avicoli's, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, Millhouse Market, Mother's Cupboard, Progressive Dental, PB&J's Lunchbox, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, and Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. Whether you live in Orlando, Syracuse, or wherever you are in the 50 states, if you go to maandpaspopcorn.com and use my promo code DT20, you get 20% off your online order today at maandpaspopcorn.com. Find us on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT, and yeah, believe in your dreams, do everything you can, and know that in the middle of a pandemic, if I can do what I've done, you can do anything.
Absolutely.
God bless, no stress, do your best.